And we're live, or we're recording. What did I do the headphones?
Recording.
My headphones must have fallen. Where'd I put the headphones?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Oh,
Hello, can you hear me?
oh dearie.
Hey, you get your headphones yet?
Put them here.
Look at that.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I was yelling at you for a minute.
I forgot that I unmuted it.
Yep, I heard everything.
Oh no. I heard everything you said about me. We're gonna what's his name from Harold and Kumar, Castle Freak? What's his name?
Oh yeah,
Freak Face or something like that.
freak miss, right?
Yeah, played by what's his name? Christopher Molini.
Yeah, he's definitely not bad looking at all. Yeah, I didn't realize both of these movies were rated PG.
Oh wow! And I didn't even realize that we have here a Alan Rickman
I
and
know.
Sam Rockwell combo. This is our first without even knowing, because it wasn't until I started watching the beginning of Hitchhiker's Guide and I instantly was like, okay, I know Sam Rockwell's in here. And then I was like, oh wait, Alan Rickman's the robot.
Yeah. So, just so you know, it still sounds like you're screaming at me.
Hold on.
I don't know if you adjusted that or not.
There you go. I'll adjust that much there.
Oh, wait. Talk again?
Okay, can you hear me?
Oh, the smoky.
Smoky. That's that. You wouldn't be wrong.
I said smilky, like milky and smooth at the same time.
How
Smilky.
about smooth and milky?
Milky?
Movies.
Movie.
You know, it is
oh,
funny
yeah.
when it's funny when my son, because I took him, to movies, and he'll come up to me and be like, "Hey, you ready to go to movies?" It's like, it's not a fictional place. And then he'll be like, "Oh, it's okay, but Toy Joy's there. Let's go eat movies at Toy Joy." I was like, "Okay, that's gonna be like a lot of money." How's it going, Ben?
Ha ha ha. All right, man. Well, how you doing today?
I'm doing fine.
Good.
There we go. I was like, why is there so much light here? I'm doing fine. Just getting in these movies and breaking them down, and yeah, got nothing to complain about. I was doing this because this is the shirt I was trying.
Oh
to
yeah,
last
man.
week.
Sorry, I was so worried about the sound. Look at that shirt. That's a cool ass shirt. It's like
Dude.
a blacklight Ghostbusters shirt.
Neon shirt. It was pretty cheap. I was like, I'll grab it. I was like, it's under $5. You got to get it.
Yeah.
And I freaking, what did I do? Oh, you know where? Last time I was like, I couldn't find it. It was 'cause I got it, and I guess I threw it on my seat that I'm sitting on, and like it wrapped around and fell on the floor. So when last time we were done, I got to do my side by side release, so I had to get up and walk. And as soon as I slipped on something, and I was like, "What the hell's on?" I was like, "Oh, there's my shirt." So, I'm liking the. See, you're saying that my voice is coming in all smoky, but look at you. You're looking very smoky right there.
Look at that. Look at that. I can even cover one eye. See that?
Oh,
that's how you get them right there. And then you just talk right into the mic. Oh, yeah.
That is how you get them.
Yeah, man. So we got a couple movies we're watching this week that we watched. I got to say, 2 movies we got Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and then we got Galaxy Quest. Both have Galaxy in the name. Both have Alan Rickman. Both have Sam Rockwell. It's just like they have a lot in common without even really being in common.
That is true. That's true.
And watching Galaxy Quest and just like, oh man, how do you feel being a good old Star Trek fan watching Galaxy Quest?
Well, I'll tell you this, man. Hitchhiker's Guide to Galaxy Quest is pretty. Well, let's just talk about what we're doing. Welcome to Side by Side.
Yeah.
My name is CJ,
And I'm Ben.
and we're just 2 buddies that like to watch movies and have an open discussion about what we've seen, and we organically find ourselves always finding 2 movies One that had, or they have something in common. You know, this one obviously we didn't realize that it has Alan Rickman, Sam Rockwell in it, and we just keep going. We keep finding two movies and we talk about them. And welcome. So today we're doing Galaxy Quest. It was a 1999 PG, 1 hour 42 minutes adventure comedy sci-fi. The alumni cast of a space opera television series have to play their roles as the real thing when an alien race needs the help. However, they also have to defend both Earth and the alien race from the reptilian warlord. Director Dean Parsot, writers David Howard as story, and then Robert Gordon as the screenplay, and stars Tim Allen, Sigourney Weaver, and Alan Rickman. And then we're comparing that with The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, 2005 PG, 1 hour 49 minutes. Adventure comedy sci-fi. Mere seconds before the Earth is to be demolished by an alien construction crew, journeyman Arthur Dent is swept off the planet by his friend Ford Perfect, a researcher penning a new edition of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Directors Garth Jennings, writers Douglas Adams' book, Kerry Kirkpatrick screenplay, stars Martin Freeman, Yasane Bey, and Sam Rockwell. And before we even get started, Martin Freeman's birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday! He turned 50.
Happy birthday.
Hey, so yeah, that's our show. So see y'all later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So me being a, you know what's funny is like when I saw this movie, so that's what I was trying to figure out. I was like, I remember I seen Justin Long because remember last time I was trying to figure out when I got introduced to Justin Long, but I didn't remember him. And I remember watching this movie, but he didn't stick out. You know what? You know, I remember when he stuck out because in 2004, 2005, I saw this at the Dollar Theater, and then that's when he stuck out to me. But I already seen it.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right. So I've seen this movie quite a few times. A couple, I want to say last year. There's a couple movies that when I try to, if they're not like if they're not for sale. Remember, like we did Mel Brooks movie, The History of the World Part One.
Yeah, History of the
And
World.
we couldn't find it right, so I bought it. So a lot of these movies sometimes they won't be streaming. And this is what I was like, I want to watch Galaxy Quest, and I bought it on Amazon. I paid like eight or $9 for it, and I started watching it. And then and we've seen it all those times, and watching this, and then having like a background with this. I really, really loved it this go around because I already seen I know the story. I'm looking for other things now, so I'm digging into this thing, and the conventions, freaking awesome,
Yeah.
man. Like this is the before they're what they are now.
Yeah.
This is something that I remember like I just didn't think existed, and it does, and it's one of the coolest things I've ever came to. Outside the Star Trek, because this you got to say you can't have a lot of the stuff without Star Trek. So if you want to bash it, go for it. Thing is, the cool thing is like you gotta have. I feel like you have to have a cool balance because Star Trek is like the basics, so it like laid it out, and Star Wars is the like alternative basics. So in a world far, far away, you have like this Star Trek world, and you also have Star Wars. And I honestly think that's like just the division of the mind, kind of like some people like start. Okay, I'm gonna say it, and I want to get my ass kicked. You know, it's Star Trek is a little lame if when you think about it after watching so many episodes, and it gets a little like, oh, okay, you know, everyone's all dressed up, their uniform. It seems like very militant kind of thing. And then Star Wars, which still has the same people, and they still, but they it's different. Like what was I gonna say before? I don't know. I'm not trying to get my foot in my mouth or anything. Because I like both, but my
Yeah.
foundation is this.
So Star Wars is more mystical. Star Trek is more technical.
Exactly.
That would be how I kind
Perfect.
of
Perfect.
differentiate the two. Whereas you have Justin Long's character in Galaxy Quest, who's like maps. They can map out the entire ship, and I'm sure Star Wars fans could do that with the Millennium Falcon and everything like that. It's just to that extent, essentially what Justin Long's character was doing was reading the blueprints to the ship that the aliens built.
Enterprise.
And that is impressive. Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Well, what is it, like the Protector? That's what this
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it's like the Enterprise.
Yeah, exactly, man. And it's just you're really kind of impressed with that character that they know so much, and that I like at the very end. He's like, I just want to let you know that it's just a TV show. Blah blah blah. He's like, it's all real. I knew it. Like I really enjoyed his character a lot more this time. We have a lot of repeat offenders from.
A lot. Do you want to go through the list real quick?
I want to hear which ones you got, and then I'll tell you which ones
Okay,
I
it's
got.
who I forget because I know I'm gonna slip. So right away, Darrell Mitchell, 10 Things I Hate About You. We
Oh yeah, yeah,
have
yeah. Right, and this was like I think last time we talked about him being in a motorcycle accident.
that's insane, man.
I
Like
know, man, because he has like two movies come out in the same year. And granted, he's not like the starring role, but that was the path that he was on. You know, like he stole the show in 10 Things I Hate About You and here. Like I really enjoyed his parts a whole lot.
Laredo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he plays it well, man. It's just very interesting how life kind of takes you a certain way.
Alan Rickman character, Dr. Lazarus, like really this go around, because I completely saw this movie as them as actors
Yeah.
doing the movie. So I feel like you and I like try to do something going into space far, far away. I mean, like, yeah, like, hey, didn't we see you guys do an improv show? It's go take a. We don't know how to do that, but I gotta say that with him, like, I mean, it's crazy. He's like what I would well, what Scott Jaffa would call the cherry role, and it's one of those roles that you're not the lead, you're not the co-star, but it's the next. That's like the next one up, next position up, and he does, man. He's very very lovable. Like he doesn't. It's not even like him and Sam Rockwell's character Guy. Like it's not like it's not like they're sharing screen time. They have their own moments. Like everybody
Yeah.
has their own moments. Even Fred, Tony Shalhoub, like
Oh,
he,
dude, I loved it at the very end whenever guys talking. He's like, "Are you stoned?" Like, and even like coming through the portal and everything, he's the only one that's not affected by it. He's just like, hmm. I really enjoyed his character, and I really enjoyed Tony Shalhoub as well. Monk, I used to watch that all the time. You know, my dad, he had a little office and he had a little TV set up in there, and sometimes he put it on USA, and dude, they would have marathons, right? Just watching Monk over and
what
over
what
again.
what was his thing?
13,
He has
yeah,
OCD.
OCD, yeah, something like
Okay, that's
that.
what it is. Okay.
Yeah, and then 13 Ghost, Tony Shalhoub, 13 Ghost, Spy Kids, man, like he he is underappreciated. I feel like because he is a great actor. Um,
Yeah, yeah. Oh, so real quick, just said 13 Ghosts, right?
yeah,
Boom.
Shannon Elizabeth.
Shannon Elizabeth. She was in 13 Ghosts.
She was also in Scary Movie, which we have
Oh
reviewed
yeah.
as well. Did a
I
side by
think
side with Scream. Yeah,
Scream. Yeah. Mm.
we're coming up on a year on that one, man. That's crazy.
Dude,
Uh,
our show's been up on a year, but that episode in
I
particular
know.
is gonna be a year.
Yeah,
Um,
but
well, I was
no,
gonna say
man.
no, but 13 Ghosts is a great movie. As it all in all, and he has like he does play a good father. The thing about the Fred character in this movie, I didn't really pick up until like when you see the intros of the. It shows the intros of the players.
He looks
When
so
he
much
come,
younger.
but the way you see the way he comes out though, he's all like he's a man of action in his character. And he's like he looks like that, right? But then when you see it, so that's what I think I was he's older now. So now he's like, well, because even when like all this shit's going down, he's like, hey guys, I just want to let you know that they're saying that you can't push the boost button all the way. It's gonna he's like you know it's not packing. It's just very mild. I mean, but that's what you in a serious crisis situation. I believe when you have when you're calm and you can like you know can focus, that's better for everyone to get what they need. Like I said, when I used to wait tables and it's really hectic, and like the bussers would, if they won on a Friday, Saturday night, they'd be like, how are you just walking around and you're just like, you're so calm? And it's like, I don't care. I know my job. I know what I need to do. Like, I'm just going to do it. And that kind of,
Sigourney Weaver's character just repeating the computer. She's like, I have one job on this ship, and I'm gonna do it. Dude, I
but her
really.
job,
Sorry, what were you gonna say?
no, no, it's her, no, you go.
Oh man, I'm just right now. I'm going over moments in the movies that just made me laugh.
Keep going.
Sigourney Weaver again, whenever they're on the planet, and she's like, she wants these things to be, oh, they're all cute and cuddly, and the guy's like, what are you doing? Like, there's gonna be a million of them, and they're gonna be ugly somehow, and like he calls it,
He calls
all
the whole
way.
play, dude.
Yeah, and then Sigourney Weaver's like, we got to get out of here before one of them kills Guy, and like I thought that was hilarious, dude. Like he said, I don't even have a last name. Do I? Do I? Like
He starts panicking because he's like, but he's going through the episodes.
Exactly, but before that, man, it felt like he didn't feel like it was real. Like that was the moment it became real for him. Because he's like, I'm just psyched I could be part of the show.
Dude,
Like
oh god, that was me. That's me when I with the Justin Long character. I was his name. I think his name's Adrian or what's his name, real quick.
Brandon.
Brandon. Yeah, when
Yeah.
Brandon, when not to get mistaken with Brendan, when Brandon, what do you call it? Like like do you see the way he is at like talking to I guess it'd be John Nathman, the actor played by Tim Allen. When he's there and he's like that talking to him about that, and then Tim Allen kind of goes to the restroom and comes back and blows him off like, dude, I totally that's fanboy. Like that's how I am. The first time, whenever I meet somebody, the first time I can't help it, I fanboy out. After that, I'm more like, all right, we met. So I already got that out the way. But like even like that to me, like I like relating to that. But is Sigourney Weaver's character is the ship only listens to her, or that's another thing. I think I picked Gwen
It
DeMarco.
it it might be it might be it because I know they like I said they designed the computer and that's all she does is like she just asks the question but then she repeats it back. Oh man, I enjoyed Galaxy Quest a lot more this time. I had watched it recently, and I definitely remember the first time I watched it. I thought it was a 2000 movie, but I guess it's in the class of 1999.
Class of
I,
99.
dude, that's it's crazy just how many movies they pumped out in that year. I mean, I know that you have a lot of movies that come out, but just iconic movies nonetheless.
I got that book. I don't know where I have it right
I
now.
know,
I
I
put it
know
down,
that's
but
and that's the only reason I made that reference, man, is because you
oh
you brought it up so many times that we've had a lot of movies from
yeah, a lot,
1999
dude.
on this podcast too. I mean, The Faculty right off the bat. What else was it? Bedazzled, right? 99.
Yeah. Yeah, now we have. I
Um,
mean, we have, and it's so what I mean. We have a lot, and off the top of my head, whatever. But I know we have a lot, and you'll notice something about that. There is something about that year that the
yeah,
movies all kind of they're all kind of good, or they at least they reach an audience or something.
they're memorable in some way, shape, or form for some reason. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, Galaxy Quest was fantastic this go around. I really enjoyed it. I liked Tim Allen's character where he's like he wants to be doing those Comic Cons. He's there doing it, man. He's having a great time, and everybody else is just like pissed off at him because he's
Well,
just a
because
jerk,
he's kind of
and
like the
he's
spoiled guy, you know.
and
But
he takes
he
advantage of all the situations, you know.
well, I don't think he takes advantage. I think, well, yes, he does take advantage. I think he's man. I kind of see him kind of as a fanboy, but kind of the celebrity or the actor of it kind of took over. He does that. He has had a lot of like bad interactions with people, and like Alexander, Gwen, they all noticed that. They're like, I mean, Alexander, like the Alan Rickman character, the Dr. Lazarus, like the fact that he's a trained actor. He's like, who do you say played? I played I feel like he's like played like I played like Shake no like Hamlet or something. Like he says one of those
Yeah,
references where he's like he's a stage and he's playing like and he's actually got like the prosthetics on. He's the only one that has like the head and he's like he's a really good actor, but he's got to go second fiddle because he plays Spock in this. And you know what? I think that's what he is. He's like a he's a James Tiberius Kirk. Like he's a Captain Kirk is what he's doing, but he's bringing the real like I don't know if it's based off Captain Kirk, but the real like the way the actor would be in the movie.
yeah.
And I think Tim Allen does a great job. It's also I'm a big Tim Allen fan, so it's kind of hard for me to kind of like
Oh,
just
he's
like
a repeat offender.
oh yes,
Yeah,
very very very. Wait, where's he? I'm forgetting our
the
movies.
Santa Claus.
Yes, we did watch the Santa Claus holiday. Ah, God, a year, dude. We've done like 100. We're looking at 102, 104 movies we've already done.
I know, man. It's it's
That's
it's crazy, and that
that's
seems like a lot, but I've watched movies in between that too.
yes, you're right. So we've even seen like maybe between the two of us, like probably 400, 500 films last year.
Yeah,
I'm joking, but it's like at least let's say
yeah.
you're
At
right.
least,
At least combine. There. So another repeat offender is Rainn Wilson, the Rocker.
yeah, yeah,
And this is what I remember. I think I had brought up on the Rocker, where Rainn Wilson has a bunch of these little roles where he's just kind of just a supporting actor. His name is Lank, Lahnk, or Lank. Um, he's a
over
repeat offender.
on Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, we have Thomas Lennon as
Yes,
as a repeat offender. He's Eddie the computer.
He's the voiceover.
So yeah,
I'm happy you picked up
exactly.
on that. I'm so happy you picked up on that because I did.
I just saw it on IMDb. That's the only reason.
And another voice we have Richard Griffiths. He's Jolts. He's the main antagonist on the one of those. What are they called? He was in Ace Ventura
Vogon.
2. Yeah, he's in Ace Ventura 2.
He was.
Yeah, he's the
He was.
he's the guy that does. He's Ace Ventura's. Oh, you know what? I just got.
That's not him. Is
I
it?
got saved. I got saved by the bell. Ironically, he is in this movie, but it's not him. It's called. His name's Ian McNeice. He played. Oh my god! I just got saved.
Yeah.
His Fulton
Okay,
Greenwald.
you did.
Okay, I did save because I was like, get saved. But doesn't that looks exactly? Oh, I'm getting him confused with Naked Gun. He's in Naked Gun 33 and a third.
Yeah, and
That's
so Richard, who you said Richard Griffiths, he was the where I know him is Dursley off of Harry Potter. That's
Yes.
he
Yeah.
was he was the Uncle Dursley.
Yeah. So yeah, he was in one of the Naked Guns movies. He actually was in the wheelchair. He was this character. Which one was it? Was he in? I think he was either 2 or 3, but he was in it. But yeah, dude, that saved me. So he is in here. Yeah, so no point lost. Helen Mirren. Did we have? No, we didn't have her. And this is our first John Malkovich.
Yeah, right.
So, this is our first John Malkovich. So who else did we have in here in this movie? We did a few more. I thought. I mean, total, we probably had a few more. I do like this is our first Warwick Davis movie.
Wow, that's crazy. I figured we would have had him before.
I thought too, man, but I guess his roles, you know. Let's see. That's pretty cool about Galaxy Quest. The movies that look at this. This is pretty cool. The movies that it suggests are Evolution, Galaxy Quest itself, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and Spaceball. So we've done 3 out of the 4 movies it suggested. So we just keep grinding. Hey, come on, bro. We keep grinding, and we'll get all of them.
Have we had Missy Pyle on before? I feel like she's a repeat offender. I just don't know how.
I mean, let's see. I she looked. Oh, you know what? I was looking at her. It scratched my my noggin there. I do feel like she is in here, but we'd have to look for her. We had to look it up. But
I'm looking right now, just kind of going through.
Let's see. But she's in a lot of things. She's also
I know, man.
Like white chick. She's the like the sister or something like that.
Yeah, and then she's in. I know she's in Soul Plane. She's in. Oh gosh, Dodgeball.
So her top 4 are Galaxy Quest, The Artist, Dodgeball, True Under. Oh, she's the foreign exchange person on the. Oh, well, now I get it. Oh, because she looks like this in Galaxy Quest. She looks like with the hair. I can see it.
Man, she was in Still Waiting. I was like, oh, waiting.
We'll get her. She's here now. Thank you for showing.
Yeah,
that.
she's in Harold and Kumar, Escape Guantanamo Bay.
Let's see. We do. I mean, it's also like we do have a. I mean, Kevin McDonald's in here, and I thought we went over him, but now he's on the list now. So
right, isn't that so weird? Where you're like, I know we've had him on here before, but I just can't remember where. And it was probably something that we ended up watching on our own. Is what it was. Yeah, man, I don't see it. If she is, man, she's hiding good.
She's good. Yeah, no, but we got her. We'll expose her.
Yeah. We'll have her again. So this is our first Sigourney Weaver too,
dude. Yes.
And our first Alan Rickman, and we got a double dose of him without even trying.
Yeah, no, dude. Like it's just. I mean, I totally forgot that Sam Rockwell. I didn't bring it up in the conversation last week, but I remember when I was like, he's in this. He's the damn president. Like I just.
Yeah.
You know, dude, and then it's funny because at the very end you see the new intro and how they do like people do this on Comic Cons or comic conventions where they start pitching out old stuff and see what bites, and if it bites a lot they'll bring it back, you know, or they'll bring it back and to promote them. And so they brought back the new introduction to Galaxy Quest, and then it has the guy. It says his last name, Fleegman. Like
Fleegman, yeah. Kind of name is Fleegman. But yeah, man, it's yeah,
That is a funny name. Do you even
it
want
is.
that
That's why I
Fleet?
thought it was so funny because I looked on IMDb. I was like, if his name is just Guy the entire time, that would be hilarious. Uh, but yeah, man, Galaxy Quest.
Well,
Wow.
it's, like for me, like I thought you were gonna start off with the convention, but you went Star Trek,
Yeah,
which which goes hand in hand with these because the conventions have been going on since like the 50s, dude.
really. Like
Yeah.
comic book conventions?
Yeah, well, no, the
Oh,
conventions itself, like and comic book conventions, yes, they've been going on for a long time.
I guess that would make sense. It just would like whenever you have, I guess the conventions that I think of are whenever I don't even think of conventions. Like whenever I hear con, I think of comic. I think of D3X or D23 Expo stuff like that.
Yeah,
I don't really think of a convention. Like I don't consider it a convention, even though that is technically what it is. But like if I heard somebody was taking me to a convention on something, I'd be oh, okay. That's just a lot of people specializing in this, um, and that's what you have at these cons. It's just
well,
go
I'll
for it.
explain myself why I'm calling it a convention because I'm maybe because we got tired of getting corrected a lot, but so Comic Con is actually the name of the convention. So if you say you're going to Comic Con, that means you're going to San Diego. But
Yeah,
if you say if you're going somewhere like I'm going to San Antonio or Houston or wherever, I got to say the name of the convention. So they'll have it like this weekend in Dallas they have Texas Frightmare, which is a convention, but it's not called. It's just called Texas Frightmare, the event. And I was always calling it Comic Con for so long, and people would be like, "Oh, how'd you get in? How'd you?" Because Comic Con is so now
yeah.
this is the new thing because Comic Con is just like the poster boy of all this, the poster child of this stuff, and it wants to take all of the like I don't know if it was the beginning, ground zero, I don't know what it is, but what do you
It's
call
just
it?
the one. I imagine it's just the one that garnered the most attention. Is that's why it took off. Plus, it's in San Diego. It's going to be close to California. A lot of people
Hmm.
can
Yeah,
can
so
go and visit out there.
I
I
would
never.
call them cons or conventions, but you're right. You're exactly right what you just said because even like in Iron Man, when his dad talked about like the space that he used to show those like space theaters to not space theaters but those future replicas what they want those
Yeah, the
models which
expo.
the expos yeah. But a lot the one thing I guess I'll start sharing it with Galaxy Quest what that I loved was that the whole movie is about believing the power of believing
Right.
like
Well,
because you had
sorry. No, continue.
no
Keep
I'm just
on
saying
going with that thought.
you have these you have I don't even want to call them simps but you have these people that aren't they're I don't know they're left out on certain things or they're very I mean they believe in Galaxy Quest so much the historical documents that they actually build everything that they and it's insane how they say they're built for your accustomed to your patterns to who you are and just by going by what they've seen and it shows you what a lot of people can do if you just believe that scene you brought up earlier with Brandon goes to talk to Namus and he talks to him and Namus blows up on him like I mean it happens like I don't know what the actor's going through or the producer or the entertainer I don't know what the talent's what's
So you were saying what was Tim Allen's character's name?
his John Namath is that his name
Oh, Jason. Jason.
Jason, that's why it doesn't make sense.
Jason
Jason
Nesmith.
Nesmith. Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
It's right. Oh, yeah, okay,
yeah.
there it is.
And
Nesmith. I was
that
thinking
for
John
some
Namath.
reason that reminded me of Buzz Lightyear, Mrs. Nesmith. Whenever he loses his arm and everything
Oh,
in
wow.
Toy
Yeah, that's
Story,
true. That's true.
and that is Tim Allen's character.
It is Tim.
Yes,
Yeah, Buzz Lightyear.
yeah. And so we were talking about Galaxy Quest, and I just wanted to put it on because I was saying how much I enjoyed it, and I just wanted to have it on in the background and kind of went halfway through. And you know what's another cool thing is last week our side by side was Tropic Thunder, and then this week we have Galaxy Quest, and both of those kind of parallel each other as well because you have actors who were thrust into a real scenario
Oh, that's
and they have to
true.
overcome. And that's another cool thing about Galaxy Coast Quest. Is, like you mentioned, it's all about believing and everything. But you know, Jason Nesmith is, and granted, he was on the show for um, however long. They said the last episode aired in 1982, and then he's going to these conventions and everything. Um, he has to have picked up some of this stuff. I mean, you can't you know what I'm saying? Like some of the tactics and some of the strategies, and
Well, I think that's
that's
what they. I think what I picked up on. I didn't realize that he's always rolling on the ground, and then I kind of clicked to me. I was like, why is he doing that? And then I'm like, oh, at the very end, he's kind of practicing, and at the very end when he shoots Cyrus, he like.
yeah,
Yeah, he does it. It's so stupid, and then but I'm like, but he's been rolling. He's rolls like 5 times before that last one. I was like, oh, he's
yeah.
been rolling around the whole time. Um,
I think somebody even mentions it whenever they're on the planet, right?
I think so. Yes. Yeah. Oh, do you have? Yeah, because they're walking. He's rolling. He's rolling.
Yeah.
Rock and roll. One thing the little Laredo. Hold on. My thing is, let's see. The younger guy. His name is Corbin Blue. That's a pretty cool name.
What? Dude,
Yeah.
that's that he was in High School Musical.
Well, that's Bleu. His name's Corbin Blue, but he's just on the posters. And that little
Well,
scene
I
they
got
show
way
him.
too excited about that. I just want to let you know that I haven't watched High School Musical. I was it's weird because I was thinking about him the other day because something I did see a High School
Hold
Musical
on.
like
Don't
meme.
feel bad. Don't feel bad, dude. You're not gonna explain it.
No.
It's got the word musical in the title. I know you've
Yeah.
seen it.
No, actually I have not. I steered clear of it because it came High School Musical came to me in a time in my life where I was just too cool for school. High School
Ah.
Musical. But yeah, man, I have not watched those. Plus, my nieces were really into it, and I just was like, that's weird.
So
Um,
put it this way, so Ben's equivalence or CJ's equivalency to Wolf of Wall Street is the same to yours of High School Musical, which is pretty cool.
dude, yeah, right.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's like and you were just I was
uh,
watching. I was like, yeah.
Corbin Blue was also in Mystery Men.
Who is he? Oh yeah, I saw that. Who's he?
He
I
was
saw that.
Butch. I guess it was one of his kids. That would
Yeah,
be
one
my
of
guess.
the Shoveler's kid, William H Macy's
Yeah, the
character.
shovels.
Yeah.
We haven't done Mystery Men, have we?
Well, no, we'll get to it, man. That's it. We
Okay,
should probably Halloweenish get to that one.
right, right.
That's a great movie, man.
It really is.
Is it 99?
Yeah, yeah, it certainly is.
Dude.
Corbin Blue was killing it in '99.
Whoa, what'd he
He
do?
was, dude. He was in Galaxy Quest and Mystery Men.
Hmm.
Like, and he's a year younger than me, so he was in '99. He was 9, 10 years old.
Yeah. Child
He
actor.
he was killing it, man. And
Yeah.
then nowadays he's just in like ABC dramas. Um, no, he's like in
Well,
Supergirl. He has a
well,
he had.
he's still at it. He's still at it.
Let's see how many credits he has. Oh, damn, IMDb
I
on
think
here.
that's a pretty cool name, man. If that's his real name, that's pretty cool. I mean, he was 9, you know.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. That's his middle name. Corbin
Corbin.
Blue.
Oh, his name. Sorry, I've been saying this. It's Cobin. Cobbin. I've been saying his name. I thought Corbin.
No. It is.
Oh,
It's Corbin.
well, you know what? The
Who would name their kid Cobbin?
well, no, the IMDb is kind of I think it's misspelled because I was saying Corbin and I looked down and it says Cobbin Blue was born
Oh,
Corbin Blue.
I would
So it's a
even
misspell.
say I would say Cobbin. Don't say Cobbin. CJ.
Cobbin. Well, what?
I've just been Cobbin
Hey,
all day. That
hey,
sounds
hey,
like
I
a
speak.
euphemism for something, man.
Excuse me. I speak multiple languages. The O's and the U's and the I's change in my head, so it's just the way they come out. I'll be Cobbin tonight. What are you doing tonight, Cobbin? It's like cool.
Bros,
Um,
you go cobb yourself, all right?
Hey, I've been cobbing it way longer. All right, I gotta keep cobbing it. No, I guess it's and it's a thing, man. It's an error. People, I misspell things too, but like there should be. I mean, this is a professional website. I think they should. Unless that's how. I mean, I think that's a typo. I mean, sorry, you can tell. It's bothering
Especially
me.
somebody who has an extensive credit history, as such. Corbin Blue has, you know.
Yeah, these 66 credits. Yeah, you're right. That is enough for you to be like I don't know, man. That's lazy design.
If you said Corbin Blue to people about 5 years younger than me, everybody would know who you're talking about.
So only dudes that are my age that love musicals will definitely know who he is. But I'm
Actually,
also
yeah, I
think,
mean that would make sense.
there's another guy here named Jeremy Howard. I think he's really tall. he plays he's the guy that Brandon goes, oh, let me get my buddy in here, he's way better at
Yeah.
that than me.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, when you're saying that, I totally reminded me of, there is a Millennium Falcon blueprint online. I found it years ago when I was doing a
Ah,
project. I was doing a project for class, and when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, they can do that!" Like, I mean, he's literally, the cool thing about this movie is a little bit ahead of its time. I mean, that you have the FaceTime they're doing, on the, but they, I mean, it's around back then, but it makes it so, they made it seem so easy, But
yeah.
this gentleman, it has him right here as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Malibu Rescue, Breaking Bad, and Accepted. But I remember him from, like, he had a bunch of little character roles where he was like Bubble Boy. He played like like, let's see, he was like, yeah, Men in Black 2. He played the bird guy alien, and then he played all these like weird characters. I think he's really tall.
Yeah.
But
No,
but
I remember him from Accepted. He's that one that wanted to blow shit up with his mind.
yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. But that guy, I see, he's just kind of like, okay, it's another character actor there. There's some. I mean, this movie, there's a few talking points I did have. Oh, I did. Okay, so just things I kind of jotted down. What do you call it? I like the part where I think Dr. Lazarus goes um, to, let's see, who was he? He was talking to, I guess, I'm getting all the names confused. Tim Allen's character, and he goes, yeah, I'm getting them all confused. He goes, all you put all that makeup, and you actually think you're smart. Oh, sorry, that's what he tells him. He tells Dr. Lazarus, they tell him, man, you're wearing all that. Oh, it wasn't even Tim Allen, it's another character. He goes, you're wearing all that makeup, so actually, at first, oh, Laredo tells that to Dr. Lazarus. He goes, wearing all that makeup, and you actually made me think you were smart. And that's what it brings me into reality. Like, yeah, they're actors, they're not real. I
Yeah.
think that Jason Nathan's character feels so comfortable because so let me tell you this: they made the reality based off what they saw on the show. So I'm assuming these roles that the actors are playing should go in easy for them. They should. It should, like, the leader should be Jason Namath. Then the Nesmith, and the, I'm sorry, Joe Namath, his name stuck in my head. Like, Sigourney Weaver. She like, they. That's what the if you get what I'm trying to say, that the roles that they, like, the positions they made in the, what do you call it, in the movie, it came out to real life. So all they had to do is kind of play their parts as an actor, but
Yeah.
they have to accept it, and that's the part where I see they have to believe.
Well,
They have to
and
believe.
they get caught every once in a while too. They're like, "Well, don't you know how to do this?" And he's like, "Oh yeah." They have to, like, they keep they have to be brought back into the reality of the situation at times too. You know.
You,
Well, they
you,
yeah they yeah. Anyway, sorry.
well, no, you're right, and the part that gets me is just this whole scene where Cyrus makes them, like, admit that they're actors to what's his name,
Um,
Matthias or
Mathesar.
Mathesar. There we go. That's his name. Mathesar. So they make him explain to him. He's like, oh, oh. And then when they win and he comes back, or when they're about to land and he comes back, and he's like, oh, you guys, you pulled the like, he thought, like, he wasn't part of the plan. That's why he didn't get it. But he thought they was part of the plan, and it was like, no, they're being honest. Like, these people won't accept, like, they won't accept some things, which is a good thing and a bad thing, I guess. But that cleric, Mathesar, is played by Enrico Colantoni, and he's had a few roles that he sticks out, and I was like, oh wow, he actually has a lot of stuff. I mean, he has 95 credits. He was in this movie with Dennis Quaid, and no, it's not him. That's the freaking. I'm getting him confused with Agent Carlson. What's his name? The actor. Those two guys. I would say I get those guys confused a lot
Agent Carlson.
from Avengers
Oh,
or
Agent Coulson.
Colson. There you go.
Yeah,
Sorry, Agent.
yeah. Oh,
Whatever that actor, him and this guy get confused a lot. But there's a lot of movies that they gonna have this small, like, just small roles where they play like douchebags, and they're so good at it. Yeah, I'm trying to think what movie he was in. Oh, he also played. I think he was in Christine. Was it the show?
he was in
Oh,
Westworld.
Just
Okay.
Shoot Me. Yeah, he has a lot of he has a lot of good roles. He's a great actor. He's in AI. He's the murderer. He was in Veronica Mars. Like, he's actually a really good actor. Like, just what I've seen, just whenever I see him pop out, I'm like, hey, you know that guy. But I want to say Galaxy Quest is one of those movies that I associate him with, where I'm like, hey, that's the guy from Galaxy Quest. which is
Yeah.
like, I mean, granted, I know his name now and I just gotta memorize it, but I thought he does a great job in this movie. Also SARS, I went to go look him up. I was like, who's the man behind the makeup? And as an actor that I'm not familiar with, but maybe you were. Did you see his name's Robin? Oh, dude, S-A
Robin
C
Sachs.
Sack. Oh, he passed
Sachs.
away. He passed away in 2013, fortunately. Um, but he was in. Let's see. He's in The Lost World. He's Mr. Bowman, Mass Effect 3, and Ocean's 11 Sailor. But yeah, I thought he did a great job as the like I
Yeah.
guess the Khan character, shall we see, or like the Cleon, like whatever he is, for the these Galaxy Quest. I thought he did a great thing. I did like seeing a lot of the fans, like just like when we watch Mallrats, like that's something to me that's I'm sorry, that's Chasing Amy. I did that with Mona, but Chasing Amy has the whole convention thing wrapped around the whole movie, and it
Yeah.
really does. It brings me to like understanding that this world has been around, but it's just I guess to the 2000s or the 2020s. I guess people just want to. They're like huge, man. They're like huge conventions. Like think about the whole auditorium is full. The whole convention center is full, with people and things to sell. This is it's definitely like it's a money trap if you don't watch it. You can easily drop to a lot of money, but they're great little conventions. I do love like I was saying last night on my little show that I have on the just Facebook and YouTube, and I was just saying like I like the fact that conventions that I can be myself at the conventions. Like I can actually literally like be myself because I'm around people that are themselves. So it's pretty cool, I mean, even though everyone's all dressed up, but it's cool. Like you feel comfortable. There's no real judgment there. I'm pretty sure if you go with like a crew or there's other crews you hang up meet up with, you probably have little like things spats or whatever, or little bickers. But outside of that, like I do love the fact that this stuff does exist and there are other people, like that are. It's such a great thing. Like out of all things, we can have a shared universe or shared something like this is I believe this is a great one. I believe having. What are you laughing at? What's going on?
I'm watching Galaxy Quest. Like I said, it's first off, how how dare we say this is the first Sigourney Weaver? We had her last week with Be Kind Rewind.
Oh, but she has such
Um,
a yes, dude.
I
Yes,
know, dude. I
forgot.
totally I saw that. I was like, oh my gosh, like because I saw her picture on IMDb, and she looks quite a bit younger in 1999, oddly enough, than she does now. But just kidding. She looks better now than she did in 1999. Just in case she's listening, Miss Weaver, we love you. Uh,
We
no,
do.
man, she was. It was at the part where she's like controlling the screens, and he just gets off. He thinks he's like he tells her to cut it, and he does like the finger across the neck. And then she just agrees. She was like, "Yeah, I agree. We're dead. We're dead." I remember her explanation later, which just reminded me of another movie that we watched, Guardians of the Galaxy. Whenever Drax does that, he's like, "What are you doing?" It's
Oh,
like,
I'm standing still.
"Yeah." Um, no, he's like, "What is?" He's like, "I'm gonna cut a knife across your throat." He's like, "What does that mean?" He's
Oh,
like,
that
"It means
part.
you're
Yeah, yeah.
dead." Yeah, in the first one. But we have a lot of movies with Galaxy in the name in them.
I know,
I think
right? It's already
we probably
four.
have the top four of
Yeah.
you know.
I mean that's a good thing though, because it's something like that we enjoy watching. Sci-fi and comedy, which just happens to be both. But being PG too by these movies. Salud. Being PG. Salud. That these movies are rated like that. Like they're rated friendly. I mean, Alien gets blown up. There's really no cussing.
Yeah,
Also, what that was cool was when Laredo breaks his arm, and then they put that futuristic cast on his arm.
yeah,
I didn't catch on it. I didn't catch that till now because I heard him cry. Because I'm on the scene where he's crying, like the Mathesar is carrying him. He's like he's just yelling. I didn't get
yeah.
that. Where you
Well,
where
now
you
I'm,
go?
I'm I'm about to come up on that scene. But you know what I just watched? Whenever they were doing like the turbo boost or something like that, are they all just holding on to the computers? Um,
Yes, yeah, I got that.
and
Yeah,
they don't need to because Tony Shalhoub's character is just standing still,
standing.
like
Yeah.
he's not grabbing onto anything, and neither is uh Mathazar either. Like he's just standing there. He's kind of looking at him like, "What are you doing?" Uh, I thought that was kind of interesting. This is the first time they're going through the minefield. Like I said, I'm coming up on the part you were just talking about.
Yeah, I'm probably a little bit ahead of you. The thing about this movie is that it all ties in together. Like they there's no real like every there it's shot. I mean, it's written like a Star Trek episode. Like they go to this far off. They go to this far off. Get in space. They're the shipwrecks. They have to go to another planet to get energy source, and then they find the conflict there, and then they got to turn around and come back, and there's a conflict waiting for them, and then it's kind of. I'll be honest with you. I was like J.J. Abrams. You kind of took some stuff from here. Like it's kind of how Star Trek ends. The J.J. the first one, the J.J. engine. It's kind of how it ends.
Yeah.
Doesn't he put the like a black hole inside of the ship? So he
Yep.
basically tricks them. And then I was like, come on, that's like poor writing, J.J. Abrams. Like
Yeah. Well,
I'm
it's yeah, it's the same. I mean, that's kind of like Avatar and Pocahontas being the same. I get you. I get you. I
oh
get where you're coming
man,
from. You know.
you're right. That's the thing
So,
too.
and that's another thing too is like, see, I agree. And now that you mentioned that, I mean that. Hell, that's what most people. That's crazy. I didn't even see the similarities between Star Trek, the newer one, and this one. Um, Kind of what you were saying about him bringing the. Are you talking about him bringing the mines to the ship and then
Hmm.
doing the black hole kind of thing? Yeah.
It's the same exact thing,
Um,
dude.
and this one I would even say is a little bit more original with that last little bit of like time travel and the last 13 seconds. Also,
Yes.
here's another question: did these races have names for beryllium before the show came on? I mean, are these elements that are actually factually out there? And because I mean, like Star Trek, if I'm not mistaken, is very scientifically accurate. Um,
And that's why they wrote
as far as you
Futurama.
can be,
Yeah.
and yeah, Futurama as well. I think Gene
That's
Roddenberry like made it a point to be as accurate as possible when trying to depict a lot of these things. So, and that could be the same thing that they were trying to go with Galaxy Quest. But I just thought it was funny. Is like you got to get the beryllium core, and that's what they were using in Galaxy Quest, and that's what they have out here. Like I said, I was just curious if you what your take on which
I
came
did
first, the chicken or the egg?
I just accepted it as like, yeah, you're absolutely right about that though. Like I took it, it's just a real element in both our world and in the reality. Because sometimes I feel like, yeah, I think that's a good question. I think it's like how real is are we in here? I also think that with if you make it like this is like a mockery or something, or it's like a was it flattery? Was it like or parody of Star Trek or sci-fi movies? But they did it so well that this movie has such a polish. It's got great actors, but it's got such a polish end result to it that it feels like if you were to watch this first and then I mean, obviously you would before you watch the J.J. Abrams ones, but or if you were to watch the J.J. Abrams one and then to watch this after, you would think like, oh wow, I could see that. It's more depth for the show, but it still would work a little bit. You know they have the Spock and the Captain Kirk kind of relationship. Oh, the other thing is that Dr. Lazarus has a fanboy, and then he refuses to say that line,
Oh yeah,
by what's his name, Hammer. I shall avenge you.
Grabthar's hammer. I
Grabthar's
saw the
hammer. Yeah,
Grabthar, yeah, something like that.
and then he does the chest thing, and he actually ends up genuinely doing it. He ends up
Yeah,
saying that, and you see that I can't remember his name. Like as he's dying, he has that smile, like his last like breath is a smile, and then and I'm like, God, that's so deep. Like if you watch
yeah, but
that, and
could you imagine like basing your entire life off of watching this guy, and then that's the last thing you hear? Like that has to be
oh yeah,
that has to make you feel like a hero or going out like a champ, you know?
especially for these
Um,
people for being very simple. I'm pretty sure they don't have a lot of stuff at their house, like in their
yeah,
room or posters and stuff. So to them, that's like a huge thing. That'd be like going into battle with George Washington or something like that.
yeah,
And then you take a bullet for him or something, and you're like, and he's like, I'll put you on the dollar bill or something, something like that. It's like, well, not like that, but I'm saying like
yo,
back in the wartime.
and
God,
honestly, man, for 1999, the graphics on this are very good.
well, that's what I'm saying,
Just
dude. It's so polished from.
watching the yeah, right? Like, I mean, granted, you have Star Wars coming out the same year. Uh, I love Tony Shalhoub. He's like, "Why'd you open that up?" Whenever they're going to the planet, he's like, "How do you know there's air out there?" And Tony Shalhoub,
Well,
"Oh,
I just
okay,
caught right now that Fred is that they're about to get down that planet, and he's eating like a cheese
yeah,
dip or something. He's
yeah."
just like,
I
oh.
was just watching that too. I fast
But
forward a little bit. Maybe I'm ahead of you now.
you're just a
Uh,
little bit ahead of me by few minutes, because I'm up there about to land. But I think it is because guys going through that whole thing, and guys like, what am I? I like that when they land, he goes, "Hey, you think they're minors? Yeah, they're about three. Yeah, they're no, not minors, minors." That was dumb. That was so funny. He's like, "Oh
yeah,
yeah, they're about 3 years old."
it's almost
Um,
like Three Stooges comedy, but it's, that's another crazy thing about this movie is like, okay, he must have a fantastic prosthetic like glue because it stays on the entire
the whole
time.
time. Oh, and another thing is,
I
I
mean,
caught this.
well, I take that back. At the very end, you see that he is wearing
Oh, he got
a
in a big ass fight, right? But
yeah,
one thing, the air is like, what do you call it? The thing is, it happens over a weekend. Something I didn't pick up till this go around. All the times I've seen this, because I've gone to comic convention, so they basically were there Friday for the convention, missed all day Saturday, and then showed up Sunday afternoon. So they basically missed the bulk or the chunk of the con. The convention is like Saturday's the day you always go to a convention, and that's always the most crowded, the most packed. So you plan for that day, because you don't know about Sunday. Like I've noticed when I go to conventions, Friday the talent might not be there, and then Sunday the talent might or may not be there. They might not have a good weekend, and they'll just take off. So
yeah.
it's like you kind of have to plan it right. But I mean, sometimes if their talent's only there for a day and the line will be like way too long, I have to pass, man. Let's have a VIP pass. But I
Hey,
did like what you
uh,
said.
so beryllium is actually an element on our periodic table.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm
Who
saying.
would-
That's why
yeah,
who would have thought?
who would have thought?
Man, that's actually hard to memorize for me. I have a hard time memorizing the table. You got to man.
I look at it. I look at it periodically.
It's just today I need to talk about it. But there's just so many things about this movie that more and more that I've gotten into doing conventions, and the more I'm gone to them, I'm going to these comic cons. Kind of just getting to know like people like me, and then trying to get other people that are in it, and then getting to hang out with the talent, getting to hang out with the people that actually throw the events. Pretty cool. There is a point there where I'm there. Like if like last time when I was in Colorado, if they're in Austin or surrounding city, I just go for that and come back home. It's not like I'm gonna chill. Well, this past time, I had to chill, and as I'm chilling, there's like I went to go say hi to Kim Rhodes, and when I got to her booth, she was gone. I was like, oh great, I missed her 3 times already today. And but the people that were in charge were sitting at her booth, and they're like, I was like, hey, is Kim coming back today? She'll be here in like 20-30 minutes, but you can talk to me and you can chill with me. You want to take a photo with me? And I should have took it. I kind of paused and I was like, I don't really feel like taking a photo with you, but I should have gone with it. But it's cool. I realized I was like, oh, that's the person in charge. Like that's what. And then for them just talking to me, I was like, it is true. You're part of this too. Without you, we wouldn't have this. So I mean, from everything that goes into the one thing you're gonna know when you're at a convention, you're gonna smell sugar in the air because there's like cotton candy, there's like caramelized popcorn, there's so much sweets, so many things in there. But I mean, it is. I mean, it's an event. It's kind of like if you go to a sports ball game, or if you go to a Yanni concert. It's kind of like that. Where you're gonna just smell. I mean, why did I say that? It's like go to a concert. I said Yanni concert. If you go to a concert or you go to like anything, it's kind of like this is. I don't know. It's kind of a cool event that if you can just kind of it's that's the thing I love about this movie, the whole power of belief. And
Yeah.
hold on, I'm looking at something real quick. All right, cool. Now see, I'm starting to notice something. Sorry, I'm just connection is unstable. See, we were saying earlier about my Wi-Fi. Yeah, it's kind of my Wi-Fi is kind of off a little bit because here a little thing will pop up and say, all right, there you go, it went away. It's like my connection was weak. Sorry, it's total like logistic thing, but we were talking right before the show, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So sometimes I think that cracking sound might actually be my Wi-Fi because it's asking me to do this. Sorry, I'm like I'm actually nerding out on our on a podcast of with about talking about you know conventions, and sorry, the geek in me comes out. But I do like this part where they talk about where Laredo goes. Wait, oh no, it's a guy. He goes, "What? You guys didn't see the? You guys haven't seen the show?"
Yeah.
Like That's like, dude, that's seriously like when you find out that like there are a lot of famous actors that show up and haven't read the script and they're there day one. That happens a lot, you know. Even if
Kind of
we found
like
out
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder, you know, it's
You
like,
read the
yeah, well,
book,
we didn't read
right?
the script. Yeah, he's like, well, no, but you know,
I read the back flap.
yeah, the Portnoy. But yeah, but yeah, like you know what I mean. They just show up, you know. And to me, you would be like, aren't you supposed to be professional? I was like, whatever. There, you know, you can be professional as much as you want, but if you don't even go and read the script, like I don't know. I've done that a few times because only because I had got multiple roles and they said you're gonna get one of those. I was like, I'm not gonna memorize three characters lines, and then be told. And then I find out that Jason Mewes like memorized all of Clerks 2, and I was like, oh, okay. It's like I should be doing that then. like, yeah. But you know, I also want to talk about that pig because you know we said 1999. This is, you know, the CGI is very, I guess I don't want to say limiting. It's the pioneer CGI, but I'll say, or it's already been because Jurassic Park kind of did the pioneer stuff. But you know, it's getting better and better. And I'll say like that pig, it looks good. That
Yeah.
when he's
Well,
fighting
and
the
they knew when to do CGI. They knew when to do practical effects.
mhm.
Like, and so with the pig being a practical effect, that looks a lot better. Where you have the little green monsters that, I mean, honestly, they still hold up today. I mean, they look very believable, and there's a lot of them too. I
Yeah.
mean, like I said, it's a, like you mentioned, it's a very well polished movie. Um, and why they don't just eat Tim Allen is beyond me. But I mean, then it wouldn't be a movie. That would be funny. I
Well, I
think
think
it's,
I thought about that. I thought, you know, I thought about that. Why don't they eat him? Why didn't they
yeah.
eat him?
Well,
And because they even say that.
they
Well,
also say he looks like a child,
yes, that's
and
what.
is,
What is that about?
I don't know. Maybe they
Does
say
that
he
mean?
looks young, or maybe he looks like a kid, or
Or I
something
was
like
also
that.
thinking maybe oh well, I don't know. Do you think like that threw me off because I was like, are like children there that height, or is it that he just a big version of a child? Now
No,
that being said, are they children or what the hell are these things? Or like
they
I,
definitely. Did you see those little asses they had? Little butts.
I don't know. I know I am.
They had little what's that sunscreen?
Oh, the
Uh
baby butt.
yeah, they had like the
The
copper tone
copper
ass.
copper topo. Yeah. Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
get you. I get you. Yeah. 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 You're right. Like I was like a bamboo, or yeah, dude.
No.
That
But yeah,
the
they seem like they're young. But and that's another thing. Like, what's with the pig? I don't
I think
understand what's
I
going
thought
on there.
at first I thought it was like even back then. I see that's strange. It looks like a child. What should we do? Hit it with a rock and we'll eat it. So,
Yeah.
but even like that, the rock monster, I thought. See, that doesn't explain much. But the rock monster, I thought that was the food for the pig was the food for the rock monster. But I'm like, but does the rock monster eat? You know, it's just kind of there, you know. And then he also thinks he's
Okay. All
fighting it.
right. So here's what we'll go from there. It's entertainment, right? They're
Yeah,
watching they're watching the rock monster and or the pig uh kill Jason Nesmith. All right. So this is very interesting actually because those creatures seem very barbaric and very um, not advanced, right?
yeah.
But they at least know what entertainment is. Whereas the people who have created this big spaceship, who know how to do all this technical stuff, they aren't aware of what entertainment is.
Keep going, man.
Like
You're right. That's it.
you have to be explained entertainment. All right, that's a very interesting thing. I don't know
Well,
whether they meant to do that or what,
Well,
but
put it this way: they're very manipulative. Those things, and they don't know the other people don't know about lying. So they're
yeah.
introduced to them. But then those little creatures, they actually they're manipulative because that one that's hurt, it's like, oh look, he's hurt. They're gonna take care of him. They're just looking at like, what are we doing? Let's just eat him. And one thing
Well,
I
and
caught on here.
that's like survival of the fittest, you know?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean the fact that they let him they let it get to water, they let it like, like
Oh
they let it.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They let it like, oh, you have a
Kind of, lured it into false.
yeah, yeah. It's all pretense that it's
Dude,
gonna be
that thing
okay.
had to have known that that was going to happen, unless these are brand new beings, like that had
Well,
to have happened before in the group.
Well, what if they're simple and they like they only need to memorize a little bit of the day and they let that
Oh,
kind of
that's
stuff
true.
go, because they're like
Yeah.
animals almost. It is. I mean, it is kind of where did you get the inspiration for these? Also, I did like the part too. He teleports the pig, and then it comes inside
Yeah,
out, and he goes, "Pig's inside out," and he goes, "What?" And then he goes, "And it
and it
exploded."
exploded.
He
What?
doesn't even.
Well, and they should have known because he says right before that that it's designed for the molecular structure of humans.
Oh, I just clicked that. I just clicked that. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So
It's
I
only for.
mean, even though like maybe it wouldn't have come in, I don't know.
But then you. But
But
okay. So
this
this
is
I
the
don't
only
want.
time you really see Fred kind of like under pressure and kind of feel like he's not comfortable. You know, it kind of may be the same thing that happened with the guy. It seems like each person kind of grips that this is a real thing at different times throughout the
Well,
movie.
they got to be put in a situation to grow, and he has this is Fred's moment to shine without Fred knowing. But then the girl walks in, he's like, "Oh hell yeah, I gotta, she's here, I'm gonna show her." But like that confidence, you don't want to let her down, you don't want her to see you, and he's like, "All right, let's do this." Like he kind
Well,
of
yeah.
gains it.
Well, I mean, I felt like Fred was pretty confident throughout the entire thing. But
I
like I said, but you like you said that growing moment, and Guy has that too. You know, like
Yeah, guy has it.
he's confident. I mean, granted, whenever he first
Well,
gets there, he's like screams and everything like that. But once he gets past that point where he's like he freaks out, he has his moment, and then he gets on with it. You know, they all have their like freak out moment.
yeah. So get this, and I think you connected a little dot there. So Fred, he gets his confidence first, and then what does he do later? He gives it to Guy. You're not I'm a glorified extra. He goes, no, no, you're a comic relief. And then when Guy comes out at the end of the movie, he's like, hey, all cheesy, but he even had like his teeth done. Like he's
Hmm.
like, it's like it's funny, but he's like a comic. He got himself. He characterized himself as something wrong, as the thing, as a character. He played that role already, and he's like, I get it, I get taken out right away. And he's like, I think he gets that confidence from Fred. And then I didn't even realize that Fred, like he gets laid,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's the reason why
Oh,
when
you get a
Fred's
room, you guys.
yeah,
I'll
and then
let
when Cyrus goes and takes over the cockpit, and when he goes in there, or the bridge, whatever it's called, when he gets in there, I was like, oh, that's why. Because I go, there's Fred. He's with the girl, and then but that's why he changed into Fred because there wouldn't be no doubles, there'd be no duplicates, and that's how you go around that writing wise. And that's why I liked. I was like, oh, cool. Like all this has a purpose. All this, and it's like there's not that many settings. Everything. I mean, there's a lot of different like places they go, but they're really just in the ship, and yeah. Dude,
Hey
Fred,
CJ,
what's up?
I'll be right back. Okay.
All right, let me get on the trivia questions. Hello, hello, I'm alone here. We're gonna go and check out some trivia. Let's see. Let's see. The scene when Tim Allen is in a men's room overhearing how the cast of Galaxy Quest are nobodies and all the co-stars can't stand him mirrors an actual event in William Shatner's life. He discovered the exact same things about himself when he attended 1986 convention. Look at that, William Shatner. Director Dean Parisot and star Tim Allen have revealed in interviews that the original tone of the film was much darker, with more scenes of violence. After test screening, the film was recut to emphasize the comedy and obtain a PG rating. Ah, so maybe it was a little bit. Let's see. Let's see some small stuff here. Although Alan Rickman hated sci-fi as a genre, he could not resist taking part in a film as he found the material very funny. I might save that for Ben. He walked out, so that's a good one to have. I like that one. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. All right, give that one for Ben when he gets back. 'Cause I think that one plays great. Alexander Dane never removes his headpiece throughout the entire film, even when he and Greg DeMarco are speaking to each other by the phone. I don't break character to DVD commentary. Why you still care? if you watch Tropic Thunder, you'll get that reference from last time. Let's see. The casting director loved Enrico Colantoni's audition so much she broke protocol and showed this to the other actors to demonstrate how the Thermanians should behave. Oh, see, so they took it from his audition. That's how I gathered that. Hopefully I didn't totally understand that right. So that's what they're called, Thermanians. I think that's what Ben had mentioned earlier. Let's see. At the beginning of the film, Tommy's line, "You are so full of shit, man," was reduced to "You are so full of it, man." When he faced with going through the chompers, Gwen's line, "Well, see, that's what I want to talk." Well, f that was redubbed with, "Well, screw that." I caught that. I should have recorded. Yeah, I should have. Whatever. That's pretty cool to know. Hello, Ben.
Hello.
Dude,
What did I miss?
all right, so check this out. I have some things I got that I thought I want to share with you, and also share with everybody else. Let me get one more thing so I can. Here, I'll just get this random one here. It's more of a nerd one for me. But check this out. Here we go. Look at this. Although Alan Rickman hated sci-fi as a genre, he could not resist taking part in this film as he found the material very funny. Works perfect for his character.
That's funny that he takes a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy a little bit later on. Granted, that's based off of a book, but still, I wonder if I guess fantasy. I guess he would like fantasy. That would make sense. That's pretty cool though.
All right, how about this one? Alexander Dane never removes his headpiece throughout the entire film, even when he and Gwen DeMarco are speaking to each other by the home phone. I don't break character to DVD commentary.
Right. I mean, you would
I didn't think
imagine
about
too
that.
that he's just like he's pissed off so much by that by that role, but if nobody like if he took that off, nobody would recognize him.
That's true. That's a good point. Great point.
It doesn't even look like Alan Rickman. You know, it does, but it doesn't.
No,
And
yeah, it's got it. You gotta look into that.
yeah,
Here's
so
another one. Check this out.
he loves attention anyway.
Oh, that's because Jason takes it from him a lot. The casting
The
director
show
loved it.
others just Althermians should behave. That's interesting. Wow.
So they basically took his Enrico's audition, and then they turned around, so they stole from him, and he should have got paid. Nah, I don't know, but that's cool. I mean, Ray Wilson's voice is very very normal
Yeah.
in this, but I guess the way they behave, so it's just the way. Now take this. I did catch this. I watched. I didn't this time around. I caught this and I go, oh, that has to be dubbed. No way, it's dubbed. It's dubbed. At the beginning of the film, Tommy's line, "You are so full of shit, man," was reduced to "You are so full of it, man." When faced with going through the chompers, Gwen's line is, "Well, fuck that." Her mouth, she mouths that, and I was like, wait, she didn't say screw that. I was looking right at that, and so I thought that was pretty cool. In the Transformers 1986, they have one curse word in it, and it's the word shit. Because they didn't want to have, they wanted the PG rating, they didn't want the G rating, or I forget they want the PG rating or not, PG-13. Not I don't know. They want a deeper rating. But check this out. Let's see what this one is. This is the NSEA protector
Not
serial
the
number.
Enterprise.
Is not the Enterprise. Is
That's pretty
NTE 3120. NTE stands for not the Enterprise. That's a good one. So I'm gonna switch off Galaxy Quest. I'm gonna put on Hitchhiker's Guide and get that one going. So we can get started on that conversation. But I mean, I love Galaxy Quest. Going forward, just watching it in general, it's just a movie that I love. I'm happy that I own it. I'm happy that I have it. I also love that it's dated. You know, like it's dated. What do you call it? Like it's a little bit older, but it's still aged well.
Yeah.
Like if you told me if you said that movie came out in 2010, I can believe it. Like, okay.
Oh yeah, dude.
Uh,
I would totally believe that too. It
Yeah.
is. Wait, are you talking? You said Hitchhiker's Guide or Galaxy Quest?
Galaxy Quest. I was switching over, but I was thinking Galaxy Quest.
Honestly,
If you were to
both these movies I think could pass for 2010.
dude, Galaxy Quest. I think Hitchhiker's Guide can pass as like a now because it's so clear. It's
Yeah.
so clear. So like let's get on to this one. This one, I can't. I did see this at the theater in 2005, but I think it was way over my head. I just was like, okay, it's a comedy. But as I started, I guess filling my brain with education and material, I was like, oh, it makes more sense to me now.
Yeah.
So a few people that I have had the conversation with about this movie, they what do you call it? They they get upset with like this movie is kind of talking about the creator, so they kind of
Mhm.
get upset with religious stuff on this movie, which
Ah,
I didn't even pick up. I was just like, okay, sci-fi. I don't care like that. Let's see. Wait, I just found
yeah.
something. Check this out. I'm still on Galaxy Quest. I was about to switch over, but Harold Ramis is in here. It says Harold Ramis wanted to cast Alec Baldwin in the lead role, which he turned down. Steve Martin and Kevin Kline were considered, though Kline turned it down for family reasons. When Tim Allen was cast, Ramis left the project. Oh, he was the rich. Oh my God! After seeing the film, Ramis and he said he was ultimately impressed with Allen's performance. So Harold Ramis was almost directed Galaxy Quest.
Oh wow,
That would have been
that's
awesome.
right. That would have been something else, man. I would have loved to see.
Dude.
I wonder why he didn't like Tim Allen.
Well, I mean, maybe because his background and remember the internet's not around, so when you hear that Tim Allen got caught with coke, when he was in the '80s, the price the stigma or stained him for a little bit.
Yeah, but dude, Harold Ramis with Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd and
You do know Bill Murray and Harold Ramis got into big fights, right? Like they stopped working with each other. That's why there's no real
yeah,
Ghostbuster 3.
yeah.
Apparently the video game, the story of the video game is Ghostbusters 3, and it has all four original actors. So
Interesting.
yeah, so
Huh.
I've seen the gameplay. I don't really remember it, but I need to play it. Like I really want to play Ghostbusters. The video game is supposed to be Ghostbusters 3. But I'm here with Hitchhiker's Guide, and I do like that they have the dolphin. I mean, there's certain things in this movie that I would not really feel comfortable doing, and that's like how do you take a sign from a dolphin, and how are you supposed to get off the plane anyways?
Yeah.
You know,
Well, it's been on display for 50 years, so they had 50 years to
I
get off
guess.
planet or find a new planet. And a crazy thing about connections of these two movies, both ordinary people just thrust into a outer
Mhm.
space adventure with no real rhyme or reason to it. It just kind of you're going with the flow and you are kind of figuring it out as you go in both of these movies. Um, yeah, I so Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I did not see it in theaters, but I do remember this vividly because I had what every 15-year-old kid wants, a PSP. All right. And I love that thing. I had movies for it. I had games for it. Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2 on PSP was the shit. So was Madden 2005. Loved
Hmm.
it, man. And my brother had one and I'd play with him like across the room. It was amazing. Probably one of the coolest inventions made in the gaming uh, industry as far as handhelds go, especially for 2005. Like they were killing it back then. Sony was.
Let me
Anyway,
ask you this. Can I ask you this real quick? With the
yeah,
what? Why'd you stop playing the PSP?
I just kind of grew out of it.
Okay, so it
And it
was
was
just okay.
probably really an expensive habit too, because like I said, I bought. Especially for like 15-year-old kid. If I was older, it may have been a different story. But I know they called them UMDs. Um, they were very expensive. The games were relative to
Like were they
buying a PlayStation
like
game.
$60,
It was either,
$65 a game or
yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that?
It was either like get it on the PSP or get it on the PlayStation. It's not really
Uh
a both. And this is like I said, 2005. You still had the PS2. Like this was the in between PS2 and
yeah.
PS3. God, I sound like Jay Bruchel off of Tropic Thunder right now.
Keep going.
Um, but anyway, man, I this was one of the movies that I was gifted um, for my PSP, and I would set it up as I was going to sleep and go through and I would watch Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The Longest Yard was another one. Batman Begins.
We talked about
Uh,
that last. I had to
yeah,
think of
man.
yeah.
All these movies I would watch on the PSP, and like I said, dude, it was it was really cool. It was a neat little time too because I think my TV at the time wasn't working, so it was a nice. All right, this will work. as I'm going to sleep, kind of thing. But I was what, like 14, 15 years old at the time watching this movie. It was very interesting to watch, because it is a thinker.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's got a lot of symbolism. It's got a lot of thought to it. It's a very interesting movie.
Just to
But
bring back the PlayStation thing, because like I retired as a gamer in 2005, and that's because I got in my breakup when I was dumped. I told myself I had the PS2, and I wanted to get a PSP so bad, and it's 2005. That's when my breakup happened, and I was like, all right, I can go buy a PSP and have a PlayStation 2 and a PSP, and then kind of hide myself in my room and whatever. But then I realized, you know what? There's only one. There's like, love basketball. I love gaming, and I was like, well, I know I need to keep doing basketball for my for my sanity and for my health and whatnot. So I can't throw that one to the side. But I go, knowing that I was like kind of had that addictive thing with me and the personality and whatnot. I was like, I have to retire from gaming because I'm not. I like girls more than I like gaming. I mean, it's very like it's one and one. It's like 1 and 1A kind of thing, or 1.1 distance away from each other. But I was like, oh, I love gaming, but I can't. It takes so much time. So I retired and I gave away my PlayStation 2 with everything. But I always remember the PSP because I played it a few times. I was like, I need to get one of these. And I was working
yeah,
at the bank, and I was like, I'm just gonna save up. I'm gonna get it because this thing is gonna be like my next mobile thing. And then the next thing I didn't have was the iPhone 4. But that's as far as I went without any like mobile. I had the Game Gear, had a PlayStation, and then a Game Boy and a Game Boy Color. I had a few Game Boy Colors, and those were nice, very simple. But once the Game Gear came out, that was like a different, game changer. But yeah, I was also cool just listening to you talking about that. I was like,
yeah.
yes, I remember all
No,
that, and that was
and dude, I was the same thing with the Game Boys. Like there for a while, I had like the evolution of Game Boys in my possession, from the
nice.
original to Game Boy. You know, what is it? DS. Game Boy DS. I had all that because yeah, I had a SP, I had an advance, I had all of that stuff, man. And each it's funny, man, because like a couple of them took different cartridges. Like
Yeah,
you'd get this, and then it changed the cartridge to this, and you'd have like that was the thing. I would never rebuy a game uh if
you have
it
to buy
had
the
like different
adapter,
cartridges.
right?
Yeah, yeah, it will exactly do. And did you ever have a Game Boy camera?
I okay. I had it, but I never used it. I didn't say I don't know how to. I didn't set up right because it's literally just it's a plug and play, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah, dude, I vividly remember Game Boy camera. It was
Let me look
so
that up real
cool, and
quick,
I had
man.
I had like the printer and everything too, so I
Yes.
could like print off pictures. You know, way back when it was so cool. Like it's just amazing. Like the little stuff that we could do that we take for granted now.
Yeah.
That it
I'm
was
about to
just
buy
so
one. It
like I
says,
said, it was just so cool. Yeah,
dude, it says you can get a Game Boy camera for $130 used. I'm gonna get one. Like that was so badass. I remember that thing. I mean, there's no point other than nostalgia purposes now, even if it's
yeah,
functioning. But I honestly think that would be so badass to have. Like, just like I don't know. I remember that camera. I remember I didn't use it. I think that's maybe when I phased out. Because I remember when the camera
yeah,
came out, I was already kind of like phasing out. But I did have. I mean, gaming goes hand in hand with like I would say both these movies, and then just the aspect of like the realities. And
yeah,
Hitchhiker's Guide is very funny, but it's very layered, and it doesn't even take shots at religion. It just says there's other ways of creation. You know?
yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, and then another thing too is like that was Deep Thought's idea of trying to figure out the meaning of life. Well, you create it, but you let it create itself, kind of thing. Like, it's a very
Ah,
uh, interesting take. Uh, but yeah,
so
I, I
so this
I thought, what's that?
no, keep going. What were you gonna say?
Oh, do you? I have a question. Do you think Zaphod's bottom head is his real head, and the top part is his
I,
new head?
I no, I think the top part is his head, and that middle one is the one. It was something that developed over time. Because I think there's a point there where that head says like, yeah, I'll make the decisions or something like that. I think there's something like that where
Oh, I thought he
he
had it. I thought he had it put in. I thought he was like, you can't rule the galaxy with just one head.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying, whatever that second one is, I think it came second. I think his head was real, and then because
Okay.
he also says a part there where I had to damage my brain so I can, that's why he's all. So I don't know if he created that guy to help him cope with things. I
Well,
don't know. It is
yeah.
kind
Well,
of
and that's another thing too.
ambiguous.
If they can remove it, that's why I just naturally assumed that it wasn't something that was natural. It was an artificial. You know what I'm saying?
Does
Like
he get it back though, or no? I don't know, right?
I don't remember him doing it. No,
Because they don't go back to Huma Kavala, do they? They don't,
no,
right? They just go
I
back to
don't
the
think
Earth.
so.
So that part of the
Yeah.
trip is just kind of insane
Well,
because you go
and
get that.
it may happen after the movie. You know.
That's true, but I mean, like for the movie purposes, like I think the fact that like he sends them on that to get the gun, and they actually they did the gun at the end because he shoots him with the depression, and they all like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm so depressed, like that. I mean,
Which is so strange. You figure they would be depressed all the time. Look at them. They
well,
look like they're depressing creatures.
but the way they talk, the narrator says in the beginning of the movie, and he says they're not actually like evil. They just. I mean, to me, I see that as just regular people that get a government job. That's all. They're bureaucrats. There's somebody
Bureaucrats,
that yeah, you eventually, and all you gotta do is follow the rules, I guess, or follow the rules that they tell you. Because even at that, like you see the way they shoot, they're not even accurate. They're just kind of like you kind of like I don't know. They're just there to do their job, and it seems like that in real world. Like when if you ever get a job where you're some kind of corporate or somebody's like there's so many layers involved like it's always like there's a totem pole there, there's a position there only created for you, you know what I mean, and like not for you yourself but you for that position, and you got to learn how to work that position, you get that job. And that's, I mean, bureaucrats are just people that just was it paper and pen, that's all they do, they just enforce the, or not even if they enforce them, they just know the rules and they just don't let you go around them or something like that. That's what I think about Hermes Conrad. Hermes,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
he's a bureaucrat. And I think about that like he's laid back in a way, I guess, but he's always on. He's his job. He'll always do his job. Like he's always like, whenever they're like in some episodes, they're like battling, and he'll still do his job under fire and
Sure.
distress. Like that's funny. So I kind of just see these people as just. I mean, they even write poetry. They're not even trying to like. There's something else. They're I don't know where you would find the because it seems like they're trying, but it just seems also like it's the internet, their internet like trolls. That's what I see,
Yeah.
and then they're just trolling people. And I mean, this movie to me, like, it's more scientific than comedy. It just has a lot of comedy elements to it. It does.
Oh,
I don't know.
it's
How do you?
situational. It's situational, Tom.
Yes.
You know,
What
and
you
then you
think
have
it's really?
Sam Rockwell as the comic relief. So this is Sam Rockwell. This is a guy. A
Yes.
couple of years later.
Okay, that's what I want. I wanted to bring that up. Sam Rockwell's acting in both of these, because the first one he is kind of just like he's both like a side character, like a Carrie character. He does a really good job in both these, and you can see the growth in both of his characters that he's developed. They're not the same person. You feel it in Be Kind Rewind, and then you feel it in here with Yassine Bey, and you
Hmm.
see the way Most Def is like he's two different people.
Hmm.
Like that's so cool. Like he created these characters, and I do like the part where they go to I can't even remember the planet, but he goes like, I remember, have I been to this bar before? And the other girl's like, hey, he's like, oh yeah, I've been here. He's
Yeah.
like, and then at the end he's talking to like his girl, the girl is, I guess he was messing around with, and he's like, look, and she's like massive.
Well, and his real name is Ix or something like that.
Yeah, something like that, right? Yeah,
Yeah. Because
and
I mean, he says Ix, and he's like, oh, Ford. You know,
yeah.
like
That's right. And then, but that like the feet. It shows the heels and like the
yeah.
netting. And it's just so
No,
he's like,
no, I didn't call because I've been on Earth. And you know, it wasn't until you read the description on IMDb, I didn't realize that he was just adding stuff to the Hitchhiker's Guide.
you know what? That's true because I didn't even pick it up to this go around. And it's so stupid of me that he's literally hitchhiking because that's why
Yeah.
he gets on this craft, and then he has to get off. So he's like, we gotta get out of here. And two things I noticed about both movies: they both have spaceships out of space, and they both launch people into orbit. So that's
Yeah.
kind of crazy. That's kind of like a thing now. That's like if you're in a ship and sea, you just throw them out. We can walk the plank, arr, the sea. And to me, I mean, they just destroy Earth like that, so crazy, like in a snap,
Yeah.
like a Thanos snap. But I think with just this movie in general, and just seeing like a lot of I mean, it's just super sci-fi. The Galaxy Quest is sci-fi, but it has a lot of reality in it. Where this one is like the only reality is in the beginning, and outside of that, throws it out. Where Ford is now, just adding to the Hitchhiker. You know, you're right. I didn't pick up to it until I read that.
Yeah.
like, and Zoe Deschanel, first timer on the show.
Are we sure?
I don't know, man. I might be getting her confused with Emily Blunt. I might be. It's like, did you see
No.
that meme that has all like six like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
six girls they all look alike? Yeah. So she's New Girls, 500 Days of Summer, The Happening, and Trolls are her top four. The Happening is when I would. She's been in a lot of movies. She's
She
got
was in
59
Trolls?
credits. The not the in the actual Bridget. She played Bridget in 2016 Trolls. I haven't seen it, so
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, she was. She was the troll. She
Yeah.
not the troll, the Urkin or whatever the opposite. I forgot about that.
She's in Almost Famous, and I love her role in that movie. It's a very small role, but it's a good role. Like she plays the older sister.
Yeah,
And
we didn't do
Anita Miller.
Elf, did we?
No, we haven't done Elf. We'll probably get to
No.
it this year.
Yeah, it's John
Uh,
Favreau.
we'll definitely get to that one. Yeah, there's another John Favreau movie I want to watch, but we'll get to that later. The
Was it Made or that was a
Swingers.
great movie. A swing.
We,
Oh yeah.
no, I was talking about a chef. Man, I love that movie, but we'll talk about it. We'll
Oh
get to
yeah,
it
that's a
eventually.
good one. I really
Yeah, we'll get
enjoyed
it.
that one too.
It's on Netflix right now. I just put it on for background noise, and I love it, man. I like to cook nowadays. I want to call myself a chef, but I like to cook. But yeah, Zoe Deschanel is in like she's got a lot of like just little roles
She
here that
got
just
some japs.
Yeah,
She got the Mac and japs.
she has that. She does have that. Oh, she's in Weeds. I didn't know that. She does have that like I guess that the girl next door look.
Yeah.
So I guess that's something that really helps her, I guess, in casting.
Well,
But
and she was in New Girl, and she was in The New Guy, and
the new guy, yes, and she's also in Yes Man.
yeah, yes,
And
yes, she is.
And you know what? I was just going through this. There was a movie called, is it called Good Girl? Oh, she also in Surfs Up. I forgot about that. I love that movie.
Oh yeah.
Shia LaBeouf.
I was
Um,
actually watching Transformers the third one the other day. Yeah.
the other one. Yeah, she's in The Good Girl, and she's in the show called The New Girl, right?
Yeah.
All right, I haven't seen The Good Girl. That's the one with Jennifer Aniston and Jake Gyllenhaal.
I
But
haven't seen that either.
yeah, it's supposed to be like, yeah, it's supposed to be
I mean,
something.
yeah, and that's another cool thing about this movie of Hitchhiker's Guide. Like I said, the practical effects in this movie are just awesome. They do a good mixture. Like they aren't heavy on the CGI. If anything, I feel like they go more practical in this movie than anything.
Yeah,
You
or
know?
I can't tell, man. Like they do a pretty good job. Or you're right, I cannot tell.
Yeah, and like I'm at the part where they go into the um they go to wait in line and everything,
Yeah.
and they have like all the beans in there. That's another thing. Sorry, we were mentioning Sam Rockwell earlier. Do you think that he based this character off of George W. at the time?
Oh man, the president. I mean, there is a part there where they actually made a good line where they say, "Yeah, you actually don't have any power. You know, you're just
Yeah.
here to."
Well,
So
he's president. He's like, "Hey, man, how's it going?" He just has like
maybe, man, like that Texas, like
that
yeah, I think maybe.
country, like
I,
carefree, kind of like, yeah, we're just
I,
gonna kill him. Well, yeah, sign, Earth, not even paying attention.
I thought it was a signature, like,
Well, it's even a
yeah.
popularity contest too, like, yeah. So
Well, I mean, the presidency is a popularity
it
contest, so yeah.
is, it is.
So maybe you're right because it's like it kind of pokes at the whole thing, but maybe it was a little bit of a George W. in there. Did you ever watch W?
Yes, it's
Did
been
you
a.
see?
I watched it whenever it came out, but yeah.
Did you see? What's his name? Josh Borland's portrayal as George W. It's
What's that now?
pretty. Josh Borland's portrayal as George W. Wasn't
Yeah,
too.
no,
Wasn't too. It was kind of spot on.
yeah, oh yeah. Well, have you seen Men in Black 3?
Yes, and he does a good like Tommy Lee Jones.
I mean, it's uncanny. It's uncanny how well he does.
It's yeah, you're absolutely right. Like it looks like
I think
it's
that's
an
I
accident.
think that's what makes him such a good actor. Is he's able to, in roles like that, he can actually put himself into that character, that person. Like he can encompass that person
Yes. Oh
very
yeah,
well.
yeah, mimicking. Yeah. is definitely a big deal. I mean, we this is our first time having John Malkovich in here, and it's like he has that sinister look on him, but he doesn't show it. Like he's not aggressive, he's not angry. He just you're like, oh my god, this guy just he makes crazy ideas, crazy moves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
One of my first encounters with John Malkovich was Cyrus the Virus, man. Con Air. Um, it was,
on
yeah, man.
Broadway.
Wait, yeah. It's like, oh, nothing makes me sadder than the agent lost his bladder on the airplane.
Airplane. No, that's I
Yeah,
think I sent you that one time and you sent me I sent you the bunny, put the bonnet down. So yeah, I think you sent me
yeah,
that video. You said, but so anybody listening, I sent Ben I think a Con Air meme or something, and and it was with the bunny, but not like a meme, like the picture, and he replied with put the bonnet down. He did the Nick Cage impression.
yeah. Good old Nick Cage and
Good old Nick Cage. We'll get to him eventually.
Con Air, man. Oh yeah, that one.
Side note with Nick Cage, apparently he's decided to just do any and every movie that's offered to him.
Oh,
Like
well,
he'll do
why
it.
not, man? He has the if you, I feel like you can get a good performance out of Nicolas Cage, but I feel like you have to work for it. And if you have a director that's willing to work for it, you can get a good movie out of it. There's a movie that he's recently come out with. It's called Pig, where I think he like loses his truffle pig or something like that.
Oh
I can
God,
see
dude.
him totally
I could,
playing a fantastic role in that.
there
But
was the other
whenever
one
he's
called
in the
Colors or something. Or I'm
yeah,
sorry, go.
oh, nothing. I'm just saying, like sometimes in those sci-fi roles, like it's just hard to take him seriously. You know, he just kind
Well,
of
it's
overdoes it. Like I said, I think that's on the director a lot. You know, because you can get a good performance out of Nicolas Cage. It's not hard. He's done plenty of good movies.
but I think from just pure volume, he's diluted his performances a lot. But I think if you do the 80s and 90s Nick Cage, like you're like hell yeah, he does a great job. And then you get to the 2000 Nick Cage, you're like holy shit,
Are you
this is
kidding me, dude? Gone in 60 Seconds. All right, there was only one goofy part in that when he's like, "All right, let's go." You know, and the
wait
rest of that
no.
movie, he was cool. He was
Well,
cool as
I
shit.
no, I said the 80s and 90s. Gone in 60 Seconds is in the 90s, or is it 2000?
It
I think
may
it's a
be,
99.
it may be a 99. I'm
I think
not
it's a
too sure.
99. Yeah, so what I'm trying to say,
Um,
it's still in the
but
90s. Like up until once you hit
yeah.
2000, Nick Cage is like, "What? No,
Oh,
please, no,
you
no."
said National Treasure isn't a national treasure.
I did never say that. I would never say that. Nick Cage
That
is
was
the
in the
national treasure.
2000s. That was the 2000s, bro. It's National
Ah,
Treasure.
okay. So I think we could connect a dot here.
Probably 2010. I could probably agree with you there. From 2010 till probably about now. Maybe
Yeah.
not
So
the
he's,
best years for Nicolas Cage. He did
but
have
you,
some. I mean, he had Wicker Man. He had Matchstick Men in early 2000.
oh,
And
mm-hmm.
he had not was it Adaptation, or there was one
Yes,
movie where he
yes, that's
played
a good one. He plays
twins.
Charles Kaufman, dude. That's a good one. No, you're right.
Yeah,
So I think you're absolutely right because I think everything he'd been in the 80s and 90s was solid. And I don't really think there's a lot of crazy performances there. Maybe like dramatic scenes because he is an actor. Like he started, he's trained in high school all the way through like a kid, and I mean when he was a kid all the way through high
well,
school.
he's Francis Ford Coppola's nephew.
Yes,
So I
offspring.
mean,
So
yeah,
but I'm
no,
thinking what I'm
no,
saying is, what's
he's
up?
his nephew, right?
Yeah,
Not
I
his
think
son.
no, I said offspring, or sometimes he's offspring. I mean like Ken, a Ken, that's not
Okay,
it.
I was like
Offspring
offspring.
is child. Ken, I meant like a
Yeah,
Ken. But what do you call it? I think we're onto something. I do believe maybe that there's a point there where he started transitioning over to bad, like okay movies, good movies, and bad movies. Like I think we caught up to something here about Mr. Cage.
yeah. No,
But
well, if he takes anything and everything, he's just like the actors that have stellar credits through and through. I mean, I feel like they are, they're protecting a brand. They get
yeah,
themselves to a
them,
certain
yeah,
level, and then
yeah.
Nicolas Cage, he changed his name so he could be put apart from Coppola, because that's, I think, originally his last name. So he's in it for totally different reasons. Like
Yeah,
he's in here to make movies. He's here to make an impression, I feel like. And
I mean that's been
uh
a badass name too.
yeah,
Nick Cage. That's
Cage.
a
And he was Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider
dude.
was, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Ghost Rider's Spirit of Vengeance, could not stand it. Couldn't even get through it, honestly. I haven't seen
I,
that movie all the way through.
I'll tell you that those are probably the two. Like if you're just go Marvel movies, those are probably the two lower ones. But you're absolutely right, dude. Guess what his middle name is? It's pretty. He's got a pretty cool original name.
What's that?
It's Nicholas Kim Coppola. Yeah, so he's a Coppola.
Yeah, Capula,
Oh yeah, yeah,
right?
Capicola.
Capicola. That's great. It sounds like
What?
some sliced beef. I know.
Well, it's Coppola. So Coppola. No,
No, Capula. Francis Ford Capula. I think. I
the
could be
oh
wrong. I may have just heard that and then, but that's Coppola. Coppola. Francis Ford Coppola. Sorry, excuse me.
that's what I'm saying. It's Italian, and so it's Coppola. He's
It-
original. He's an original descent from Francis Ford Coppola.
yeah, his
And
nephew, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. I mean, dude, he's we've unlocked something here on side by
Well,
side, man.
I did like a report, not a report, like a bio on him in theater arts in middle school,
Oh,
and
that's pretty cool,
Gone
man.
Gone in 60 Seconds was one of the, like, you would bring in a tape to show a little bit of his acting, and that's what I did. I brought in Gone for 60 Seconds because I was really into that movie at that time. I thought that was the
That's a great
coolest
movie,
damn
dude.
movie.
I think it's still a
Yeah,
good movie.
you know, uh, a lot of repeat offenders there too. Giovanni Ribisi, Angelina Jolie, and
Chi
we've had
McBride.
Angelina. Yeah, yeah. Was is Ving Rhames in that or no?
No, he's not. But we need to get
No.
Ving Rhames back on the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know it's Landau. God, I can't remember his name right now. Sorry, we're talking Nick Cage on Hitchhikers, but it's a good segment to kind of go how we got here.
Yeah.
So, what one?
Have you seen those pictures of him like up as Superman? Like he was going to be the
Yeah, back in the
Superman
day when
of
Tim
the.
Burton was gonna do it.
Yep. Hmm.
Yeah, Cage as Superman. I don't know, I
Could you
forgot freaking
imagine?
me.
Could you imagine the Burton verse?
I would have watched. I'd watch it.
Release the Burton verse. Hashtag it.
Well, what
Hashtag
I
it
was
right now.
when I was looking up when you took off and I found Galaxy Quest, I found that they wanted to make it darker, but then they did a screening and it didn't screen well, so they made it PG and more comedy and it screened better.
Well, fuck that.
So this show's PG-13, I believe. So hey,
Yeah. Oh no,
um,
it definitely is after that. You're welcome.
but I will say
Uh,
that this movie, Hitchhiker's Guide for what we're talking about, just like I mean everything in it, like the spaceships, like you're right, it feels practical. I feel like they built the inside of the spaceship, and then when he's watching TV, everything just kind of changes.
yeah.
Uh, it's man, the characters' interactions with each other, the the way that the story is just told, and the fact that they actually show and Bill Nye's character I love is in this movie. He has a small little cameo, but he's even going through explaining that they build things. So it's also like, who are these other people? Are these people? Are these aliens? Are these what are these?
Right.
But what do you think about that? Them building like the planets, like, and they already had a space Earth 2.
Um, it it made sense. It definitely made sense. So I guess he's working for Deep Thought.
Hold up. Oh, sorry, man. I got to step away, so you got to hold for it.
Yeah, yeah. So Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. We are talking about this movie right here. So let's pull up some trivia. Since we did some for Galaxy Quest, let's do some for Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Um, so the producers have stated that this movie is not a literal translation of the books, just as the books are not a literal translation of the original radio show. Oh, interesting. So this has been Hitchhiker's Guide has been going on for a while. The hired writer simply came on board to improve structure and make the screenplay more coherent. That's pretty interesting. Ah, but yeah, no, this movie is it's super fun. I'm currently at the part where they have two thermonuclear missiles heading right toward them. They're about to hit that improbability hyperdrive, and those missiles are about to turn into a whale and a pot of petunias. And I always thought that was probably one of the funnier parts of the movie You have the whale just coming to terms with life around him. You also have a whale that's outside of water. So this is a whale that is completely unique in uh, that regard because, I mean, first off, whales are used to water, and so this one is naming things like ground. He has his tail, and you just kind of get how a creature would start naming things or start to begin to think and uh, things like that. So you have the sperm whale and then the pod of petunias, which its only thought was, "Oh no, not again." I thought that was hilarious. Um, huh. This is yeah, a very interesting movie. Arthur is in his pajamas the whole movie too. I think that's a pretty fun thing. I wonder
That
exactly how long this it takes, in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. How long they're moving through the galaxy, is it a couple days or
that's true.
what do you what do you think?
I've been I listened to what you said about the whale. Actually, my little boy, my homeboy, I'm you're technically connected to each other, and I sensed him like moving around, and he just adjusted to like put his hands behind his head and be like, all right, I'm gonna chill like this. So he's still down. But like what you said about the whale, that's a great observation there, man. Like everything you were saying, I was like, yeah, he's absolutely right, man. It's like a well out of its element. But
Yeah.
the towel thing, I want to know what is the towel thing? Because that's funny too. At the end when they're shooting at them in the camper, and he's like, oh, he's got a towel, go the other way, and then they go and they come back, oh, he's got a towel, go the other way. It's like, why are they scared of the towel? Does it explain
Uh,
it?
surely no, no. I think it was just something useful that you need. Uh, you could always wipe sweat away. You can always use it to
No,
stay
no, but
warm.
those what
The
do you call it?
bogons
Bureaucrats.
or
Yeah,
yeah,
he gets scared of the towel, and then he always what do you call it? Ford always has the towel in front of him. He's always like, don't go anywhere without your towel. Like, he has a towel with him the whole time, and then
yeah.
so does for the most part so does Arthur. But I always wondered what it was. What was the whole
Oh,
thing with
I
the
know exactly what it was. Actually, it's uh it's a reference to getting stoned before you watch this movie. Don't forget to bring a towel.
You're a towel.
You're a
Maybe
towel.
maybe I'm just gonna maybe I'll reward myself after or just start off.
yeah? I hate shut up, Tally. You're so right. Tally's
Yeah,
so right, man.
he really is. He's like, I'll just get
Damn
a
you,
little
Tally.
high. That'll make my thoughts straight, and I'll keep doing everything.
Did he not do shit?
Doesn't
It's
do
just
shit. I feel you, Tally. Uh, but anyway, man. Yeah, this.
oh
I
man.
I wonder
There,
what would have happened. I mean, did was Arthur not supposed to go through the portal? I mean,
And that's the
what's
thing. Would you have gone through that? Like, that's insane. That's just like if you had four friends, there's four of y'all, and then three of them are like, we're gonna jump in this hole. We'll see you on the other side. I'm like, was the other side of death or what? Like, I can't.
Well,
Like,
I mean, at this point, man, he's already been what, like yarn and a
that's
couch
true. That's
and
true.
flour, and he's been to all these different places, and like I totally get it. Like he's been reserved about a lot of this stuff, but they told him that they would just explode, or if they hit the improbability machine whenever you know uh they weren't at normal, wouldn't it, like it could rip the fabric of time or something like that? I don't even
Dude,
know.
is that Omega 13 in this movie?
Oh,
Improbability.
probably.
That's pretty cool. I just realized that we have that too. We have two of those
Yeah,
kind of similarities.
exactly.
Yeah,
And
but
but no, it's I was just kind of curious about that. If the whole planet's closed, then are they just waiting for Arthur? Like Bill Nye's character, I that always just kind of threw me off guard. Is like he's just here, like
I
maybe
took
after the missiles or something like that. Maybe they're all underground. I don't know.
well, I took it as like Bill Nye's character was like what do you call it, HR or human or like customer service. Like he's a character that's trying to make up a mess up. He's trying to fix something they messed up on.
Yeah.
So I think I'm trying to
I
figure.
guess he just knows that Arthur is the last human or last Earthman.
Oh, that's so true. That's
Yeah.
true. And it kind of has an Adam and Eve touch to it too. I can see how the people can get because it's the last two, because
Yeah.
Ford isn't human, and I can kind of see how how some people Or I could okay, man, this movie is pretty layered because I the scene. What do you think that scene meant? The one where they're walking and they're getting hit by like a fly swatter or something, and and what do you call it? They they
Oh,
try to
whenever
you
they
can't
think.
think, you can't think, and that's what
Oh,
got me.
that's
I wrote down is like if you and you're in just reality, if it's one of those like it could be like I guess when social media gets mad at your posts or whatever, they get mad at you. Like if you ever have a thought or something, like they're gonna get off. They don't want you thinking. You know, that's why
yeah. Well,
I went a little bit like that.
it would be. Well, I think that kind of ties in with the Vogons because they're on Vogosphere, so that's the Vogon planet, and so they have kind of strange faces, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what if they just have the thought whipped out of them? And every time they're on their planet, oh, I
Well,
think, oh, I
well, that's what I'm
think,
saying.
oh,
Like it's like you're not supposed to have a thought, or you won't get hit if you don't think. But
yeah.
if you don't think, you can't do things.
No,
So
they
that's why.
can. No, 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 because they were able to go through at point. I mean, it wasn't until
Oh no,
Arthur.
I'm going with metaphor. Like metaphor. Like is that are you thinking that's why they hit? Like is that the point? Is it for them not to think? Like that's the point of
Yeah,
being there.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because
So
that's how they got the Vogons to be so bureaucratic, because they don't think, they just do. They're like, okay, they don't,
exactly. Like
you know.
yeah, it's good. Yeah, dude.
So and like I said, they're on Vogosphere, so that would make sense that these creatures, the Vogons, were that's how they were bred. That's they are a product of their environment, you
Yeah.
know. So yeah,
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, if you were born into that, it's man, that's a good understanding of that too.
yeah.
Well, I guess
And
yeah, I'm gonna
that's how a lot of bureaucrats are. You know, they're a product of their environment. You just get into the dregs of things, and you're just like, well, I guess it is.
and they
You know, the saying that I've heard the most lately is one that used to irritate the hell out of me, but now I'm just kind of going along with it. It is what it is. You know,
yeah.
that's
Yeah. I mean,
that's
I on some of those I'll accept like why something's like that. I'll accept that, but in reality, like you're right, that is kind of an annoying answer to get.
yeah,
But there are some things that I'm like, that's just the way it is. I can't. Like, I've seen so many damn things. I'm like, no, that's just the way people are. Or that person, that's the way they are. I am going to have to step away now because little man's in is trying to get my attention. So I'm gonna get him
yeah,
set up, and I'll probably break like 2 minutes, but
yeah.
one more time.
No
Sorry.
problem, man. You go for it. All right, so we're gonna get back on the trivia for Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Uh, the car that Ford Perfect introduces himself is actually a Ford Perfect, from whence Ford got his Earth name. Despite it being a Ford, the car was never manufactured or sold in the United States, but produced in Ireland, the UK, Malaysia, and New Zealand, and sold in Europe, Asia, and Australia between 1938 and 1959. Wow, that's pretty interesting. The nightgown bathrobe Arthur Dent wore was the most expensive and difficult of all the costumes, including Zaphod's heads and Humakavula's eyes. The fabric had to be sewn on stage and was flown in from Turkey. I wonder why that was so expensive. The name, let's see here. In one shot, the Apple Mac logo is visible on the side of Deep Thought, the giant computer. Douglas Adams owned the first two Apple Macintosh computers delivered to the United Kingdom, while Stephen Fry, the voice of the book, owned the third. Both men were and are keen advocates of Mac. Douglas and Stephen were close personal friends. That's pretty cool. So the narrator of the film, Stephen Fry, is a close personal friend of, what was it, Douglas Adams, the writer of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The writer, as in the author of the books, which I think I read earlier. There are five of these books. Um, Arthur Dent learns the guide's sole entry for Earth is harmless, and that the updated version was to be mostly harmless. This was filmed but didn't make the final cut. This included a bonus deleted scene. It would have been Arthur and Ford Perfect arrive on the Vogon ship. Also, uh, funny enough, at the on the back of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which they do take time at close to the beginning of the film, right after Earth is destroyed, to go over what the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is, which it's just a compilation of knowledge throughout the universe or throughout the galaxy. Um, and so, what I thought was really funny at the very beginning, you have a theatrical and a musical number with some dolphins who are evacuating Earth because it's about to be destroyed. Um, and you have the title, which is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Um, and I imagine that was to ensure people were watching the right program or uh, watching the right movie whenever they went to the theaters, because the way that Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is introduced on the book would have been such a better um, title card. I feel like that was like the coolest part of like the title card sequence. I thought um, just the way it comes in, the music, it's just very dramatic. And on the back, I always remember it says "Don't panic," which is great advice. Really is don't panic in tense situations. Just go with the flow. Make sure you have your towel, and you'll be good to go. Let's see. Relevance. All right. The Heart of Gold bridge set had so many light bulbs that the bulbs could only run for 8 minutes at a time to prevent them from catching fire. Good gracious. Let's see here. What else do we have? In trivia, Bill Murray, Robert Downey Jr., Will Ferrell, and Johnny Depp, a huge Douglas Adams fan, were all considered to play the role of Zaphod Beaglebrox. But after Sam Rockwell's audition, director Garth Jennings immediately chose him. Uh, that's I could see why. Sam Rockwell as Zaphod Beaglebrox. I mean, I have no idea what he was like in the books, but Sam Rockwell does a fantastic job of just being an absent-minded, lovable character. And also in Galaxy Quest, he plays, kind of an uptight, really scared and really nervous, um, person. Like I said, Sam Rockwell is just uh, a great actor, all in all. Uh, so the Babelfish translator that Ford puts in Arthur's ear inspired the Babelfish webpage, first on Alta Vista, now on Yahoo, which provides translations to and from different languages. The Babelfish, in turn, was named after the Tower of Babel in the Bible's Book of Genesis. I think the Babelfish scene was very cool. I always some of my favorite parts in the movie whenever they had the Hitchhiker's Guide um, entries, whenever they would show you stuff explicitly from the Hitchhiker's Guide, like whenever the Vogons were uh their grandma was in trouble, it would take them so long to get the paperwork done to even save her. So I always enjoyed those parts of the movie whenever I would watch it as a kid. Yeah.
Yeah. I just walked in that fish. I did want to talk about it. That to me, I thought that was pretty cool. Like, just it had a different, you have to like. I think people would you put a fish like that in your ear? I think people would like to do that.
Oh hell no.
I wouldn't, but I think.
Oh well, actually, I mean, like, first, the only reason I wouldn't is because I would have something in my ear that I
Yep.
couldn't know, like that. No, no, no. But like I was reading before, I don't know how much you caught of that, but they actually have a web page, a Babelfish web page,
Nice.
because of this movie. I don't know if it might have been because of the book too, but um, mainly the movie. But yeah, the Babelfish is a very interesting concept. I think it's kind of cool. Um, but there was another movie that had something similar. It was I can't remember what it was, man. But it's an interesting way to have everybody speak the same language, you know?
Yeah, I saw it as too as also like being the like just kind of the easy way to get something instead of actually like you're just like, oh, somebody put something in my ear and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, and it had to crawl in there, and it's an actual animal. But I do like the explanation of the fish, how it talks about how it uses I guess what does it use to
It it eats the sound waves and
Sound
excretes.
waves.
Yeah.
Yes. So that I thought that was a
And
cool little nifty idea.
does it translate for you too? Well, I guess can you talk in that other language or no?
I don't think so. Well, I don't know.
Because
It's weird. How could
The
they
Vogons were
understand?
able to, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they have Babelfish too.
That's a cool name too, Babelfish. It kind of
Mhm.
has like yeah. But no, I did like that. I was like, that's funny. And then the way it looks like a parasite, just kind of looking at you with the teeth, with its suction lips. But let's go. Let's do some final research. Anything else you want to say about these two movies before we give them a seal of approval in the books?
No, man. I've said quite a bit about both these movies. Let's do it.
One thing I did want to look up were the directors because did you go through? Oh, look at that! I didn't even realize Galaxy Quest has 7 wins. That's a pretty good movie. Yeah, the Saturn Award, Best Actor, Tim Allen, Best Science Fiction Film, Best Actress, Sigourney Weaver, Best Supporting Actor, Alan Rickman, Best Performance by Younger Actor, Actress, Justin Long, Best Director, Dean Parasot, Best Music, David Newman, Best Costumes, Albert Wolski, Best Makeup, Stan Winston. Oh, of course. Best Special Effects, Stan. This is a Stan Winston movie, of course. But that's pretty cool. I just realized like this is a take serious kind of movie, in a not so serious environment. But
Interesting. So, the guy who directed Galaxy Quest directed the new Bill and Ted.
I need to watch that.
It's on Hulu, so I would say
Yes, yeah.
yeah. I started watching it the other night, but I fell asleep.
Yeah.
Red 2, I
don't
would
blame you,
not
like-
recommend. I did not enjoy that one.
I need to watch the Red One before I could watch Red Two, but I've heard some things about it.
Yeah, no, Red 2 was
It's like a
the first one was
retirement
good.
and
Yeah.
Deadly or something like that. Extremely
Retired.
dead. Yeah,
Yeah, something like that.
that's their name. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I know about it. Does have Bruce Willis in it, I believe. So
Yes, it has the incomparable Bruce Willis and also John Malkovich and Helen Mirren.
didn't it have Morgan Freeman, or am I getting? I thought he was in one of those.
It very well may.
Okay, and then the director for Hitchhiker's Guide, I see he's got into animation, yeah, or Pixar, I believe, with like Seeing. That's Pixar, right?
Oh no, that's like Illumination. So Minions.
Oh, that's right. Illumination. Yeah, Garth Jennings. He has 9 wins, but he has Seeing, and then I want to see this movie, Son of Rambo. I've never seen it.
Yeah, I was looking at that earlier. I was like, oh, it looks kind of interesting.
I like the trailer's pretty good, but he also has 10 acting credits. But yeah, he's coming out in Sing 2. He's in Hot Fuzz, the crack addict in Hot Fuzz. He's a fantastic Mr. Fox. He's in Aaron, and he was in Hitchhiker's Guide. He was the voice of the Frankie the Mouse. And that's another thing. The mice were commissioned and paid for Earth to be made. So apparently, mice run the world. So
Yeah,
and
that's why dolphins are the second smartest.
So mice are the number one. Is that what they're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, I got that then. Okay, so on Galaxy Quest, the budget is 45 mil. It made 90 mil at the box office, 90.7. So it doubled its original budget. It's starting out, and then the Hitchhiker's Guide, it says between 45 and 50 mil, 104 is what it came back. So it doubled as well. So these sci-fi movies actually came back with what they wanted. But do the ratings real quick.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Let's see here.
What'd you think about the prices?
Oh, what was Hitchhikers again?
It was 45 to 50, and it made 100 mil.
Okay, and then Galaxy Quest was the same.
About it was it was 45 and it made 90, so they made exactly like double what they put in.
No, I mean that sounds about right. I mean both these movies were solid. They weren't going to be like blockbusters or anything. Galaxy Quest had a potential. It really did. I mean, if it had been even more successful or made like 6 years later, I mean, I feel like we could have gotten a Galaxy Quest 2, depending on how successful it was, and also a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy 2. But I just don't think. I mean, especially since Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, has 5 books. Apparently, it's a series. They really could have profitized on that, but I guess maybe they didn't, or they used up all the material in one movie, or I'm not entirely sure what happened there. But I feel like both these movies could have potentially had, maybe not franchises, but at least had sequels.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. You could have easily done a sequel to Galaxy Quest. I mean,
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams did, and
Yeah.
and oh, he did.
Uh,
But
uh, uh.
joking. Haha. See, I like that J.J. Abrams, but if I have to take a jab, I'll take
Wow.
one. You know, I like him. I'm not. There's nothing wrong with that. I thought, honestly, I thought. Was oh my god, I can't even think about it. What is that? Not 8 millimeter. He made. I have the movie right here. It's the one with the kids. It's called.
It.
No, the one with. Oh my god, no, I stuck. It's called. Oh my goodness, it's. Let me look it up.
Super 8.
Super 8. There you go. I couldn't remember what the first part was. I remember it was 8. So I like Super 8.
Yeah. That
One
was good.
second.
That was a good ET movie.
Yes, that's what I said. That
I love the
some
sequel to ET.
JJ just piggybacking like a mofo. That's okay. I don't blame him. Hey, hold on. I'm getting hollered at. Hold on. Let me.
Alrighty. So, since we're close to the end and about to do our ratings here, um, Hiker's Guide to the Galaxy. We're trying to figure out how to spell Hitchhikers Guide to the Galaxy. Maybe I just put in Guide to the Galaxy to get
Sorry, I'm back. I'm back. Sorry. No, he's 3 now. So it's everything's on the table now because right before we started, I had to clean a little bit before I put him to sleep because he was like I was in the kitchen cleaning and he comes up to me and he goes, "Hey man," oh he's like, "Hey man," like basically like, "Hey man." So I tried to pee and I just got it everywhere. So I peed in the shower and I'm like, "That's fine." And I went to go look and I was like, "Yeah, he's right. He's only." But it's kind of weird how he's so interactive. You had to. I taught him how to use the toilet, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And but if he doesn't need a stool anymore, so he still likes to use it. I guess I don't know. Long story short, so now I'm like anything I hear, I'm like, all right, I don't want to go and clean more pee up, so let me just go check real quick. But let's do some ratings real quick.
All right. So you give me IMDb for Galaxy Quest.
7.3 out of 10 with 156,000 stars.
Wow. You said what was it again?
7.3, which is decent.
That's not bad. So over here on Rotten Tomatoes, it has a certified fresh 90%
Ooh.
tomato meter score. Honestly, very surprising. I didn't think it was going to be that high. And that's out of 126 reviews. And I can see why though, because this is like one of the perfect satires,
Yeah.
ever made, and it knows it too. But it's not over the line. It totes it very well.
I do think that 90 is definitely we're gonna have some like that. So that as we're going through the scores, and I've been noticing the Rotten Fresh. So I'm assuming there's a lot of nerds that hang out in the tomato meter or a bunch of geeks.
Yeah, probably.
A bunch of us sensitive guys. So I'm thinking,
Yeah.
But
So-
what's the critic consensus?
So the audience score is a 79%, so almost 11% below
Less, yeah.
than our critics. And the first one's out of 126 reviews. Second one is out of 100,000 plus ratings. The critics' consensus on Galaxy Quest: intelligent and humorous satire with an excellent cast. No previous Trekkie knowledge needed to enjoy this one. That's very true.
Nice. It's true, and it's
but
right there.
if
You
you
said
do-
the satire, like it's right there.
Yeah, if you do have the Trek knowledge, though, or at least knowledge of some of the antics, you will enjoy it just that little bit more. What do you got for Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Let me just tell you this real quick. You might also, on Rotten Tomato, under Galaxy Quest, you might also like Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker, Naked Gun, Final Fantasy, the Spirits Within, and then Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and Three Musketeers. That's all over the place.
Yeah, well, wait till you get to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay, let's see. The score on IMDb is a 6.7 out of 191,000 stars.
You said it was, sorry, what out of 10?
6.7.
So
Almost
a little bit less than Galaxy Quest, but I mean, right around that.
Yeah.
Right in there.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness! Look at the score.
Yeah. So on Rotten Tomatoes, we have a 60% tomato meter score out of 200 reviews, which is honestly very surprising. I thought this movie was a lot. It would have been received a lot better. I could see where some people would be like, "Oh, this is like maybe a goofy English movie," and but it's like trying too hard. I could see where people would have that criticism, maybe, but I don't know. I could also see like. I'm not too sure, man. Like I said, you have a lot of English actors, and it's kind of a thinker. So I feel like in America. It may have done well at
Yeah.
the box office, but people weren't happy with it. Um, maybe a little
It's
bit to what you said about maybe taking aim at religion or being a little bit too. This is how everything was created, and not having that
I
there.
think
But
I don't think
who
it take.
knows?
I think you're right. I don't think it takes a shot though. I think what it does, it just gives someone another alternative outside the Bible or a book, another
Yeah,
book, and they don't want to accept. I don't. That's a pretty 60 to 65. That's pretty
yeah.
damn low.
And then
Those are
audience score.
D's.
Yeah, audience score is 65 out of 100 plus ratings. Um, so our critics' consensus is a frantic and occasional funny adaptation of Douglas Adams' novel. However, it may have those unfamiliar with the source material scratching their heads. I don't think so. I'm not familiar with the source material. I just enjoyed a good movie, and it was, irreverent. It wasn't, it was funny. I enjoyed it. I I laughed. I didn't necessarily cry
But
when Marvin died, and then came back to life moments later.
what was that? You know what I'll say? It's insane how when you read the Rotten Tomato for Galaxy Quest, it says no previous Trekkie knowledge needed to enjoy this one. That's okay. So you don't need to know about Star Trek. And then over here it says it may have those unfamiliar with the source material scratching their heads. So you have to know Douglas Adams to get this movie? No, you don't. It's just, you could
No.
use that same quote.
I think they were just saying that people are stupid if you don't.
And this is not really like an intellectual movie. It just has a lot of. It gives a lot of information. I mean, there's a lot of like explainer videos and there's a lot of prompt stuff. It's given it to you, so it's kind of an
It's,
upfront movie.
it's goofy too. It's like I can understand. I bet you there's some people watching this movie who's like, "What's the answer to life?" 42. What the hell are you talking about, man? 42 the answer to life. That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard, man. I tell you what. Where's this movie even going? Then it turns out that the answer or the person who is supposed to make the question, is on Earth and is like, man, that told me everything I needed. I could just
Well,
see
sir, it's
somebody.
because you're not using it right. You're not doing the derivative of 42. You do 4 plus 2 is 6, and you multiply that by 666, and enters the meaning of death and life with 69. You got to understand this. If you don't, like, why am I even bothering with you? Why am I even trying? If you're not going to learn what 42 is, why would you? You know what? I had to read the whole book 8 times before I even watched this movie one time to understand the book.
You know what the answer to life is? It's 43. Yeah,
How?
blow me.
No, it's not. It's not 42. It's cannot. Wow, that's very vulgar, sir. That is very offensive. I wasn't
Yeah.
even. I wasn't even offering. But if the offer is on the table, then I mean, it's been a while. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly.
check this out.
You're no Vogon or anything, but Vogons look incredibly like my wife. The similarities are uncanny.
Hey, I'll take defense to that because my wife doesn't have them DSLs, and I would take those Vogon DSLs over my wife's birdie lips, little
My
bird
wife,
lips.
my wife. This is so. Tom Hanks was on Black Jeopardy on SNL. He's like, what? One of the questions was, what can a skinny woman do for me? He's like, not a
Not a damn thing.
And then he's like, my wife, she is a sturdy gal. Dude, that was some of the funniest.
Not a
funniest
damn
stuff. Not a damn thing.
Um,
But yeah, no. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I mean, it's so. Where were the dolphins at this whole time? Were they just like going through space?
I guess they're aliens and they can just breathe anything. But
It's not even that. I mean, like they just like, all right, here's Earth 2. Okay, we'll come here. Like, did they not?
Oh,
have a
that's
better,
true.
Did they not have a better place to be? I mean, you're
Well,
gonna
maybe
go
they-
back to Earth where you're captive.
oh,
They
that's
just suddenly
true.
go-
Well, no, they like the free fish. Didn't they? What they said? Thanks for the free fish. But check this out.
No, thanks for all the fish.
Oh, all the fish. Check this out.
It came at a price for some. They had to do somersaults and stay in a tank.
Did you? Well, no, they were warning them. They were giving them. But I bet you the blowhole that was kind of a little touch there. Joking. Deep thought explains the significance of the number 42 at 42
No.
minutes into the movie. Now I have to go
No
and rewatch
way.
this.
Oh my god.
Well,
Um,
Thomas Lennon's
Oh,
character.
hey, look, I got the credits going on. It says additional Vogon voices. The League of Gentlemen. That's who's credited for Vogon.
Oh God,
It's
there's a lot of-
interesting.
All right, so
So let's get these scores.
all
in
right,
the bucket. What do you got? Give me Galaxy Quest.
it's simple 13.
I'm there with a 12. So we're close.
You're gonna have to
Um,
help me out with my Galaxy. I mean, with my Hitchhiker score because I want to hear it. Because you might actually. I'm going 10 or 11.
yeah, I'm right there too. I mean, this is a very I would say I wouldn't give this one a 12. I wouldn't put it the same as Galaxy Quest because Galaxy Quest just has that. All right, it's kind of like from a previous movie that we have done on Side by Side. It's waiting. All right, and they have this little saying. Okay, you know what the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is? All right, it's just that little bit extra. Okay, and that's what Galaxy Quest has. It just has that little bit extra. It has that it's that little those little jabs, those little fun, like goofiness. I don't know, man. It has I wouldn't even say it has it all, but it has what it needs. And it gives exactly what you think it should. It doesn't give you any more. It's not overdoing it. It's just like it's that perfect amount. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Now, I disagree that this is a head scratcher or anything like that, but I could see people maybe not even getting offended, but just like having it too goofy, being too out there for a movie that is supposed to just kind of be fun.
Yeah, I think
Would John Malkovich's character, Homa Kavula, that could you could take a kid to see this and be like, oh, look at all that, and that would scare the ever living shit out of them. And it has a lot of those characters. Whereas Galaxy Quest, I mean, it only has like maybe two or three crazy looking things. Yeah, everybody, if you because like I said, both these movies are rated PG, so you would assume that somebody's taking their kids to see these movies. Um, Whereas
it's,
Galaxy Quest, man, I don't feel like is for kids at all. I feel
dude,
like this is one of those PG movies that uh it was right under the radar. Like you said, I don't know
dude,
who they were trying to cater
I
to, but
I think you hit something on the head with that score right now, dude. I think you just hit on something on the head. I think some people took this movie, and also because it's an international flick, and it has just a few American stars in it, with three of them, four of them. But if
yeah,
you if
who?
you,
Oh,
or
okay, Sam Rockwell and Mos Def.
and Zoe Deschanel, and I don't, maybe
Oh,
John Malkovich. I don't know,
yeah,
but
oh yeah, no,
I mean
okay,
Thomas
yeah,
Lennon. But we're not
I
we're
got
not
it.
gonna get too deep. But let's say there's a handful of them, right?
Yeah,
What I'm thinking is, if you were to, if not even trying to keep this like country or conservative, like just in general, if you don't want if you really like, let's say like you don't believe in the Bible, but you try to preach your kids something else because there's that part of your brain that kind of needs something in there. If they were to watch this and you took, it's a PG movie. I didn't even think about that. I always thought this was PG-13, and it wasn't until
so
you
did
pointed
I.
out. And if you watch this, if I were to take my kid to watch this, and I'm a very like, I need to make sure my kid's IDH, I control all of it, and this kind of gives them some kind of ideas. That as a parent, that would be tough, and I could see how some people probably got upset with that.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't. If it's up to my son to take something in the way he wants it. I don't know what's in his brain. He doesn't know what's in mine. I don't know what's in his heart. But it's up to him to like decide. And if he watches a movie, then he out of his age range, and he watches it. If he gets it, he does it. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna blind him with this. And I think if you were trying to be like, hey, this looks like a sci-fi movie, and you take your kid to go watch it, I mean, it's definitely not a sci-fi. I mean, I don't know, man. A lot of it might be a little bit ahead. It, um, it doesn't. What do you call it? I don't know. It seems more of an adult movie, but it's, and now you think about it, it's not. It is a PG movie.
yeah,
There's nothing. It's nothing really there that should offend. But I mean, that's a low ass score. That's almost a half. 60, 65. Audience score
yeah.
always confuses
I
me
would
nowadays.
I would have said like 75 to 80 would probably be a range that I would
Yeah.
expect. But 60 was definitely a lot lower. But yeah, I would. So getting back to our scores, I feel like we were a little vague with Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I say for Galaxy Quest, I'm a 12 there. I think it's a fun watch. I really enjoyed it. Um, I with Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, I'm probably going to give it 11. Um, so I and I know you said you were kind of like 10, 11. You weren't too sure. But that's I mean, my 11, possibly even 12 for me is mostly a nostalgia factor just because I had a lot of memories watching this movie. I've seen it numerous times, so much so that, I don't know. I think I think it's just uh, it was one of those like I said, it was one of those movies I grew up with. Um, I was right at that age, like I said, 14, 15. A lot of
Yeah.
a lot of different thoughts, a lot of different ways of thinking going on. So I think that's why I'm going to stick with an 11. I have an 11 for that score. What are you going to give it?
Um,
What does Max give
he's
Hitchhiker's
right
Guide
next to
to
me. He probably would give. I don't know. It'd probably be it's scary. I mean, with Hitchhiker's Guide, I will give it a solid 11. You're right. I'll give it an 11 because it's more effort than regularly, and it has all the parts for a 10. It's 12, but it's definitely 11. It doesn't. I mean, like I said, it didn't make me think any differently. As in like, oh, religion and or
Yeah.
life or whatever. Just like, oh, it's a good little movie. Trash. He's into Forky, man. There he is. He loves his Forky. But I'm gonna back. I know. Hold on, I'm gonna mute for a little, just 1 second.
Yeah. But no, so we've kind of gotten our scores here on both of our movies. Both movies having to do with galaxies, which is just a small speck of the whole universe that we live in, and even that is more infinite that we can than we can really imagine. So I think that's why we have, instead of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe, we have Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Because I mean, who really has time to go outside the galaxy nowadays? It's hard enough just staying here. And then we have Galaxy Quest. You don't have Universe Quest because that sounds kind of like more of a fantasy movie than Galaxy Quest. Galaxy Quest sounds like it's a space movie. And I think they might have had something there too. The reason you use Galaxy is it does sound a little bit more spacey, a little more alien than Universe does. Hey, how's it going?
Sorry, man.
Um,
He handed me because he's smart. He handed me this and it's his piggy bank and he was like, "So you ready to go buy some Play-Doh?" And I was like, "Well, I did tell you you had to use your own money, but I did say you have to earn it." And he's like, "I already got the money. What I got to earn?" I was like, "Oh God, you're just like me." But yeah, no, this is a Galaxy. I don't know where we're going from here. I was gonna throw a suggestion out.
Alan
And see,
Rickman.
Alan Rickman, and this is just gonna Alan Rickman.
Is it Dogma and Die Hard? Is that what you're gonna suggest?
How do you know me so well? How do you know me so well? You already know where we're
I
going.
swear to the good Lord Deep Thought that we did not plan this at all. That was strictly a guess. I mean, yes. If we're that on point, then yes. These are the two movies
Okay,
we have to do.
and he's right. I just did this on my phone. Like I can even go back to the app just to be lame and show like it's like I just did this like right now. Where over here?
I
I
had
just
no
did it right
knowledge of
now.
this
So
whatsoever.
I mean, the fact that you actually already jumped on that,
Yeah, I mean,
we're
we got to
going
do
there.
those now.
The
Yep.
the only thing that I premeditated was that, but I also was like, I don't know how you're gonna watch Dogma. That's
What
the
do you
only
mean?
issue. It's not available for streaming,
Oh man, is
so
it not?
I might have to just send you my
Oh
send you a
shoot! No,
copy.
don't worry. I have my own. I have a
Oh, you
Blu-ray
do?
edition of Dogma.
Dude, you have a better one than me. I have the Japanese version of
Ha ha
Dogma,
ha.
so it has
Yeah.
like 11 languages on it, and English is the first one. But
No, mine probably has 11 languages too. But yeah, man. No, I can't wait to get back in the Venus universe. And I was thinking maybe like whenever you were first talking about, I was like, oh, it's gonna be like Dogma and maybe like Chasing Amy or something. But I was thinking like two Alan Rickman movies, two iconic Alan Rickman movies.
I would
And
yes, totally iconic. All right, so let me pop this thing back up just so we can maybe
where's
do
Die
something.
Hard playing? Is it on HBO?
It is on free on IMDb TV, but I also think it's on HBO.
Hell yeah.
Let's see real quick. It's on. No, I own. Dude, I feel weird. I own a lot of this. I actually own this. I think I showed it last time, but just in case I didn't.
VHS and
No,
DVD.
dude. I got this for like all three of them, the originals. I
Oh,
got this.
nice.
Yeah, but I mean, I like the Die Hard movies, but so much that I was writing a fan film for. I was gonna write Die Hard 4, and we could talk about it next time. But an actual Die Hard 4, not the Die Hard 4, not the Live or Die Hard or Live or Free or whatever it's called, Live Free or Die Hard.
Listen,
Uh,
Live Free or Die Hard was a fun summer blockbuster.
But the movie I wrote was gonna writing is right after Vengeance, Die Hard with Vengeance. But we're gonna go on back. We're going back to the viewer skew.
Yep.
And before we do that, we're gonna go, and we might end up doing cop out next time. But we're doing,
yeah, it's, yeah.
just everyone's already gonna be ahead of that, but we might not. We're aware of it. Die Hard, 1988, rated R, 2 hours and 12 minutes. Does not feel like that. Action thriller. An NYPD officer tries to save his wife and several others taken hostage by German terrorists during a Christmas party at the Nakatomi Plaza in Los Angeles. Director is John McTiernan. Writers are Roderick Thrope, based on the novel, Jeb Stewart, screenplay, and Stephen E. De Souza, screenplay. Stars Bruce Willis, Alan Rickman, and Bonnie Bedelia. We're going to compare that with, we're going to put it up side by side with Dogma, 1999, rated R, 2 hours and 10 minutes, adventure, comedy, drama. An abortion clinic worker with a special heritage is called upon to save the existence of humanity from being negated by two renegade angels trying to exploit a loophole and re-enter heaven. Director, Kevin Smith. Writer, Kevin Smith. Stars, Stars Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Linda Farnentino. So we're going back to the views. We're going back. This is what our fourth. We did Clerks 1 and 2. We did Mallrats, and now we're doing Dogma. So we're eventually going to encompass the whole view school.
Which is funny because what was it at the end of Clerks? It said Jay and Silent Bob will return in Dogma,
and we got back to it.
Yeah. Here we are.
You know what? When did we do the episode? I can't even remember what day.
I don't know. Hey, but you want to know a cool fact about Dogma too? 1999, bro.
1999. All right, I got it right here. Let's see. You're right. It is. It's our episode 7. If anybody's listening hasn't seen it, just recommend going and checking out the Kevin Smith podcast episode. Let's see. It was on. Oh, close. We're so close. We did it on 10/4/20. And it was so close. And actually, like, the next week will probably be the 16th. So we're close, but we're almost at a year to the time. But yeah, it's gonna be awesome. What were we talking about? View skew. So we've hit the Clerks. We've hit the Mall. We are hitting the religion, and which is kind of goes tie to tie with Hitchhiker's Guide in a way, and the fact that, like, religion.
It's real. It's a bit. I mean, it's like in your face. That's the difference. So.
I mean, we'll do some deeper diving in there. And we'll figure out exactly where we'll go with this. But no, this is where it's at, because it wasn't like Bruce Willis and Kevin Smith brought us together. It was Alan Rickman that brought us with these. And so, thank you, Alan Rickman. Thank you, RP, sir. But I guess that's about it. Our show's coming to an end.
That's all I got, man.
That's all you got. I told him, I think my son's exactly like me. I told him 8 minutes, and I got like 2 minutes left. So, without any more further interruptions, and I don't want to be that guy that tells his kid, "Oh, whenever." Nah, I do what he says, because he does what I say. So it's equal
parts.
So, but I'm also in charge. So, because if anything goes wrong, it's like. But all right.
It's CJ's fault.
It's always the bartender that lives. No, man, bartender got it the worst. And by the way, still bartending was still the job I dislike, probably one of the most, almost, but it's like up there, even though I did it for so long. But that's another day. We've talked about that in our 3.5 hour waiting episode. So if you want to go back, I need to just break that into 2 episodes.
Oh, dude, you need to break that into clips. We could probably. Yeah.
People. Well, I mean, it's gotten. I think the analytics. I think it's like people get it like 28 minutes, 30 minutes into that episode. So they follow.
Oh, so you get analytics and everything too?
It'll give me a notification, and I think when I put that one, I got one back in the day, and I was like, oh, that's good. I don't read them because I don't know how to read it. But it's kind of like Eco Joe. He's the economic Joe. He goes, cars are bad for the environment, and that's why I don't drive them. Well, I don't drive them because I can't afford one, but still.
It's the principle of the thing.
The principle of the thing. But all right, so we're gonna fare off and farewell. Peace, and talk to y'all later.